What's happening? What's happening with it? What it do? Yeah, y'all already know what it is. When you come in the building, smash on the like button and let me know you're in the building. You know? Yeah, we definitely gonna cook today. We definitely gonna cook today. What's up with it? What's up with it? I see they sending my notifications out very slowly, but we here. So when y'all come in, let me know you're in the building and drop in the comment section, hit the like button. My man AJ64, what's happening with it? What it do? Glove up, boxing and more. The coach is in the building. What's happening with it? Johnny Q in the building. Master Khalik, what's happening? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we definitely gonna cook today. TN Ray 615, salute. Welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about today. So like I said, when y'all come in the building, smash on the like button and jump in the comments and let me know that you're in the building. And like I said, we definitely got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. Cassandra Mason in the building, the queen. Yeah, lot to talk about. I had to get done eating them little Twizzlers I had. But like I said, hit the like button when you come in the building. Smash on the like button. Boss Dog, what's happening with it? Yeah, so this weekend, you know, we had some great fights this weekend. If y'all ain't watching the UFC, man, y'all need to get on some of them fights in the UFC because the UFC really be putting on. Hold on real quick. My son, he over here tripping. Y'all give me one quick second. All right, y'all, my bad. Money Brown in the building. What's happening with it? Yeah. So, like I said, man, this weekend we had some good fights going down. We had some fights go down this weekend. A great fight card. It was exciting for the fans. But like I said, if y'all ain't up on the UFC, y'all need to start getting up on some of them UFC fights because they really putting on for combat sports. The best fight, the best over there at the UFC. You ain't got to worry about, oh man, are we gonna get to see this fight and none of that stuff, or contract negotiations and all that other BS and politics stopping fights. You ain't got to worry about none of that. And this weekend, Amanda Nunes and man, what's her name? And she's one of my favorite fighters too. Her name slipped my. Damn, it slipped. Well, they put on at the UFC. That UFC fight card was a hell of a card. That was a hell of a card this weekend the UFC put on. And them women, man, and the UFC be putting on, they'll main event some of them women over the men, and they never fail to put on a hell of a show. They never fail to put on the hell of a show. And I can't wait, man. And it reminds me, it started reminding me of Pena. Yeah, Juliana Pena. Knockout boxing. What's happening with it, man? Knockout. I was hella busy this morning, man. I was intending on calling you back, but I'm gonna call you when the show over. I'm gonna holler at you when the show over, Knockout. But Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes, man, they put on a hell of a performance, hell of a show. That whole card was jam-packed. And, you know, boxing can learn a lot from the UFC. But it kind of reminded me of, you know, Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall fight coming up on September the 10th. That's actually the birthday of my twin daughters. My twin daughter's birthday is on September the 10th. The same day Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall go at it. So I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. That's going to be a hell of a showdown and, you know, a hell of a day in all. Lania, what's going on, Queen? What's going on, Queen? But yeah, the UFC they've been putting on, and like I said, man, I've been a UFC fan since like 92. Think since they first started. Since them dudes was having to fight 3-4 fights in one night in a tournament style, right? It wasn't even no weight classes back then. I've been a fan ever since back then, and the UFC has come a long, long way. And as far as, you know, the asses they put in the seats and the pay-per-views they sell and all of that, they surpass boxing. And if you watch the UFC, you'll see why they surpass boxing. We don't have to deal with all of that bullshit. Hold on, money coming in with the good news. I'm sorry, but you know, I need to put the and sports, everything boxing and sports back in the title because, you know, shit, I watch all sports. Money say Deshaun Watson got 6 game suspension, so he coming back this year, and deceased daddy birthday all on the 10th as well. Okay, I like that. I wish he hadn't got no games because shit, he didn't play last year at all. But I mean, you know, 6 games, that's better than what we thought it was gonna be. So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing Deshaun Watson when he come back, but that's still hard. It's still hard to come back with 6 games in the season because you need at least shit. You know, these players, preseason, the top quarterbacks don't really play. So I say you need like 3 regular season games, at least 3 regular season games to get your feet wet and, you know, to start feeling comfortable with the offense. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I hope that, real talk, I'm a football fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Cowboys diehard fan, but, you know, I know they ain't going to do shit. So it makes me a football fan, and I like players. I like Deshaun Watson, and I like, you know, I just want to see what's going to happen. See what the Browns is going to do. You know, they got some exciting players on their team. The Raiders, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Raiders do this season. You know, yeah, that's just what it is. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all smash the like button because, as I can see, they sending my notifications out hella slow. Saints says, Coach say the Saints will kick your ass this weekend. I mean this year. Bro, that ain't no big accomplishments. A whole bunch of teams gonna kick the Cowboys' ass. That ain't no big accomplishment. Shit, you heard Jerry Jones say that. Shit, as long as he just make the playoffs, he good. Man, come on, man. Knockout Boxer said, when Deshaun Watson out here making Amari Cooper look cold again, Dak will be exposed. Oh, it's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. Mike C, what's happening with it? The Queen, Gayella Loudermilk, what's going on with it, Queen? She say Packer Nation. Now that's a team. I ain't gonna say I don't like the Packers, but I like Aaron Rodgers. I'm not a big Packers fan, but I think Aaron Rodgers is a hell of a quarterback, but he can't get it done in crunch time. He fold. in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He a hell of a regular season quarterback, but he always fold like a lawn chair in the playoffs. Oh, yeah, I should be able to do it Friday, too. And I got a special guest coming on the show for y'all Friday, too. So Friday finna be jam-packed because I should be able to go over there with the coach of the Queen and join their show this Friday. And I got a special guest coming on the show for y'all on Friday, too. So with that being said, hit the like button and let's get into this boxing talk. Yeah, I didn't even know you went live, Coach. I didn't even know you went live today. I'm going to have to go back and check that out. So let's talk about this boxing. So this weekend, the first fight I'm going to touch on real quick is Adam Kownacki. Adam Kownacki, you know, he fought, what was that dude? He fought that Turkish dude. I got to look up that dude's name because I can't remember his name because I only had seen that Turkish dude fight one time, and I think it was against Efe Jagba. Let me pull up that Adam Kownacki and get his opponent's name. His opponent was Ali Demirzan. Ali Demirzan. Right? Ali Demirzan. Okay, yeah, I see you knock out. Big Texas ATX Smith. What's happening with it? Loyal to the game, boxing talk, what it do? So Ali Demirzan, right? He went out there against Adam Kownacki. And I had told everybody, if Adam Kownacki don't get this win, he pretty much, you know what I'm saying, should wrap it up, right? And he went out there and he looked like the same Adam Kownacki. He started strong, right? He always started out strong. Just like he did with what's his name? God damn, I can't remember nobody's name today. But just like he did his last two fights, he came out, started off very strong, and then about the third, fourth round, you know, he started getting his ass kicked. See, and the thing with Adam Kownacki, his style is not gonna age well. Robert Helenius, yeah, just like he did against Robert Helenius, right? His style, I always knew that his style wouldn't age well because he came out, he threw a million punches, don't get his head off the line, no head movement, and he just go 100 miles an hour with no stop, with no gas, you know what I'm saying, with no stopping him. Just foot down on the gas pedal all the way. And that shit wasn't gonna last long, and I always knew that. You can't go out there in the heavyweight division, especially with no defense. You know what I'm saying? And think you could just throw a million punches and overwhelm your opponent. Once you start stepping up in competition, that shit is going to catch up to you. And the punishment that you take is going to slow you down. And we can see now, right, how Adam Kownacki had been fighting throughout his whole career. He's taken a lot of punishment in them fights. All them fights, he was taking punishment because he just comes straight forward, and his defense is his chin, right? And now you can tell that he slowed down a lot. He don't even have the high volume output that he used to have because he slowed down a lot. And, you know, like I said, man, salute to Ali. He came out there and he beat the shit out of Adam Kownacki again. Now, he didn't whoop on him like Robert Helenius did, but he still gave him an ass whooping and, you know, basically embarrassed him in front of his home people. Embarrassed him in his hometown. You dig what I'm saying? He embarrassed that man in his hometown. And Adam Kownacki, like I said, the accumulation of punishment that he's taken over his whole career, not having no defense, not knowing how to get his head off the line, it's caught up with him. And I don't want to say that he needs to retire, but he definitely, you know, his dreams of becoming a champion or fighting on that A or B level, he's done with. He's a C-level fighter, and maybe he could be a good gatekeeper. But if he wants to be the type of fighter that's going to get them big paydays and big fights, that shit's long gone. So he can retire if he's thinking that he could do that. But I don't want to be that cat that say that he just needs to retire off of 3 losses, because like I said, we go back to the UFC. A lot of them guys got 16 losses, and then you fuck around and see them in the championship fight and they winning the belt. So I don't want to say in boxing that he needs to retire, but as far as fighting on that top tier, right, level, that's over with. You know what I'm saying? That's done. So he still get a paycheck. He can still get a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? They could put him in good gatekeeper status. But other than that, nah. Right, Samuel Washington. And that's what I was saying. If the Marizan had any power, Adam Kownacki would have been asleep. Because he took a whole lot of punishment. He took a whole lot of punches. Daryl DeLoach, what's happening with it? Salute to Daryl DeLoach in the building. But like I said, Kwame, I ain't gonna say that he, need to hang it up. He just needs to hang up the dreams of being a top tier fighter, because that ain't gonna happen. And he better be thankful that they never did put him in the ring with Deontay Wilder, because he would have had to hang it up for life. For real, his life would have had to hang it up. The way he fight getting in the ring with a Wilder would have been real ugly if they had done that. What was it? Probably like 2018, 19 when they was talking about that. Yeah, that shit would have been bad, real bad. Kirk McCall says if he getting his ass beat like that, he don't need to be fighting no more, especially at heavyweight. Like I said, it happens, man. It happens. Like I said, in the UFC, I done seen them dudes take horrible ass beatings and have 16 L's. It's still fighting. Cowboy Donald Cerrone, he done took more motherfucking bloody ass whoopings than you can dream of. And shit, he just retired, if y'all know who he is in the UFC. So yeah, it is what it is, It just all depends, A lot of them fighters, their health ain't gonna be good anyway, once they start getting older. And that's the dangerous game that they play in. A lot of them fighters' health ain't gonna be good anyway. So for me to say that they need to retire after 3 L's or whatever, that ain't for me to say, but you need to retire from that top tier status. That's just what that is. And real talk, I don't know. I don't understand, like I said on Friday, why they had that as a co-main event. Like, I don't give a damn about Adam Kownacki that being his hometown. Why would you have a man that got 2 losses in a row as a co-main event? Real talk. When you got a young prospect, a young up-and-coming superstar like Gary Antuanne Russell that you should be having, displaying for the fans. Because, see, this is my problem with that. You put him as the co-main event. Now, everybody that's watching that show up to the venue, they get to see Adam Kownacki. You put Gary Antuanne Russell on as the first card of the fight, people don't get to see him. They ain't get to see him. But they saw Adam Kownacki get his ass beat for the 3rd time in a row. You feel me? So that's why I have a problem with that. You're supposed to be displaying your up-and-coming talent for the world to see. And you got Adam Kownacki. Nobody was asking to see Adam Kownacki. You know what I'm saying? As a co-main event. You feel me? That man had his chance. Y'all already promoted him and tried to make him the great white hype. You had him as main event after main event. And before that, co-main events and all of that. They got to see enough of Adam Kownacki. We don't need to see him no more. We wanted to see Gary Antuanne Russell. So if I'm showing up to the Barclays Center late because I know I want to see, the main event and the co-main event, well, I miss Gary Antuanne Russell. And if you look out in the stands, most people that showed up to the event didn't get to see Gary Antuanne Russell and Francis Bartholomew fight, which was a hell of a fight. And let's talk about that fight. Let's talk about Gary Antuanne Russell and Francis Bartholomew. I was listening to Francis Bartholomew in the press conference, and he says that, he was going into this fight with everything on the line. He felt like that basically, you know what I'm saying? This is what he felt that like this was his last chance. Now, with him saying that, what he meant is he felt like that if he didn't get the W against Gary Antuanne Russell, that the PBC was going to throw him to the, you know, basically throw him away. They're going to throw him aside, and, you know, this was his last chance, that he needed to go get a win. And that boring shit that Francis Bartholomew usually do, boring the crowd where nobody wants to see him fight. He said he wasn't going to do that. He said he was going to come in. He said he had been working on his power, and he said he was going to fight different this time. He was going, you know, he said that he was going to sit on his punches. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to do all that holding and pity pat running shit. He was going to sit on his punches, and he was really going to fight. Now, when I heard Francis Bartholomew say that, I said, man, this dude is bullshit. He finna go in here and he finna bore the crowd once again. But Francis Bartholomew and Gary Antuanne Russell, they did the opposite. And like I said, Gary Antuanne Russell is always an exciting fighter. I didn't expect to get what we got out of Francis Bartholomew. Now, let's talk about Gary Antuanne Russell in the Francis Bartholomew fight. Give me 1 second real quick. All right, we back. My bad, y'all. And y'all smash the like button. Hit the like button. Smash on the like button. Now, Gary Antuanne Russell and Francis Bartholomew, man, that was a hell of a fight. Both of them dudes went at it. They went at it. And salute to my man, Kwame East in the super chat. He says, ref robbed us of a great fight or outcome. And I agree. And I'm gonna get into that. So Gary Antuanne Russell, he came out, you know what I'm saying, with a vengeance. He came out right from the gate. He didn't waste no time. And he was on Francis Bartholomew's ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about right out the gate. He was trying to get him up out of there, right? It seems like when I was watching the fight, I said, damn, Gary Antuanne Russell got a whole bunch of shit that he's been holding inside. We know that he, you know, Batman passed. You know what I'm saying? Our family Batman, he passed. Then a few days after that, Gary Antuanne Russell and the Russells, they lost their father. You know what I'm saying? They very, very close to their father. Their father meant everything to them. And he spoke about how, you know, how it's been very painful. He's been going through a lot, but he's been trying to channel all of that inside and focus on the task at hand. So we was all, you know, wanted to see how he was going to come out. He came out like a motherfucking caged animal. He came out like a caged animal. But what we didn't expect is Francis Bartholomew to fight back. He was ready. And I'm going to say this, man. Francis Bartholomew was big as hell. I'm going to show y'all a picture that I took because I'm like, damn, this dude is big as fuck. Like, Francis Bartholomew was huge. Look at this shit. Hold on, my bad. Francis Bartholomew was huge. That's the picture I took when he was taking his when he was doing his interview. He was huge. He was a lot bigger than Gary Antuanne Russell. He was way bigger than Gary Antuanne Russell, but he came to fight. And he came to fight like a man that really felt that there was his last chance. Right? He came to the fight like a man that was fighting that had nothing to lose. And he came out there and he was fighting. Like I said, I had Gary Antuanne Russell winning comfortably, but the rounds were competitive. Francis Bartholomew was fighting, and he caught Gary Antuanne Russell with a clean-ass hook right on the chin. You know what I'm saying? And Gary Antuanne felt that shit. He felt it. You know what I'm saying? Gary Antuanne had to wrap him up and hold him for a second to get his head back straight, because Rances Bartholomew, he was sitting down on his shots and he was cracking. He was really cracking. He was sitting down on his shots and he wasn't trying to, but he was holding a lot though. He was still holding Gary Antuanne Russell a lot. He was trying to push Gary Antuanne Russell back to the ropes and use his size and wear him down. But Gary Antuanne is a dog and he wasn't going to stop. He wasn't going to stop. And when you seen Gary Antuanne catch Rances Bartholomew, right? I think it was, what round was that? Like the fifth or sixth round? Is it like the sixth round? One of them rounds. When you seen Gary Antuanne catch him with that short shot in the inside, if you go back and listen to the commentary of Gary Russell said that that Rances Bartholomew was going to be open for that shot. And that's what I like about Gary Antuanne Russell. And when I say Gary Russell Jr., his trainer, his brother, told him that shot was going to be open. And, you know, Gary Antuanne Russell, he listened to the instructions. He slowed down, and right out the gate in the sixth round, he caught him with that shot. Bam! And he dropped him. So when he dropped him, Rances Bartholomew was hurt. He was real hurt, but he got up, you know, and he was good enough to continue. You know what I'm saying? He was a little shaky when he first got up, but he was well fine to continue. And the referee, I'm thinking the referee is going, you know, say, okay, cool, go ahead and continue. And I was going to see Gary Antuanne finish him off. You know what I'm saying? Like a Mortal Kombat, finish him. I was like, okay, yeah, Gary Antuanne finna finish him. And the referee just calls the fight off out of nowhere. Why the fuck would you call the fight off like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Rances was going to get his ass beat. He was going to get knocked out, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But as a fighter, just like I said when Sean Porter daddy threw in that fuck ass towel, when Sean Porter's daddy did that bitch ass shit he did, right? It's people's opinion that Bud Crawford was going to stop Sean Porter, but we don't know that. That's why you give the fighter and the fight fans a chance to see what the outcome is. Because my opinion is that Gary Antuanne was going to press on the gas and get him up out of there. But we don't know that. Rances Bartholomew could have recovered and, you know what I'm saying, could have fought on and won the fight. We don't know what would have happened, so you don't stop no fight like that. You don't stop no fight like that. Yeah, I wanted Gary Antuanne to knock him out. Yeah, I'm going for Gary Antuanne Russell. And yeah, I picked Gary Antuanne Russell for the knockout. But you don't stop a fight like that. You give the fighter a chance to fight on. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that he was getting dominated every round and he was getting beat the fuck up and, you know, and he was in a lot of danger and then he got dropped. Nah, man, you give the fighter a chance to fight on. And so, yeah, I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't feeling that shit. You feel me? I definitely wasn't feeling that shit. And y'all hit my like button. You know what I'm saying? Let me check the likes. Let me check the likes. Hit the like button. Get the likes up. Let me see where the likes is at. Yeah, man, y'all got to get the likes up. I don't understand why y'all come in the building and won't hit the like button. Smash on the like button, y'all. But yeah, so like I said, Gary Antuanne Russell, it wasn't an easy fight for him. Now, like I said, Rances Bartholomew, he was 29-1. He only had got one L on his record, and that was years ago. So it was a hell of a fight. It was a hell of a fight. I would have liked to see the fight go on. I thought that Gary Antuanne Russell, he finally had started, you know, he finally had calmed down. and start listening to what Gary Russell was telling them, and we saw the outcome. But, you know, Ransom Bartholomew and his team, they felt that the referee had some type of agenda. Now, with all of these betting sites that I'm going to tell y'all, when all of these betting sites going on now in a lot of these states, they made betting legal and everybody know how to get on the online site and bet, right? When I see a ref do some shit like that, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Yeah. Give your sister one too. When I see a ref do some shit like that, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Oh, this ref, he had bet on the stoppage. So the first time that he sees, you know what I'm saying, Ransom Bartholomew go down, he ready to stop the fight. Like, you know, I mean, it got to be some consequences to refs doing stuff like that. It really do. It has to be some consequences to these referees hopping in and jumping when everybody see that the fighter can continue. Like, you don't do that. This is a combat sport. You know what I'm saying? This is a combat sport. Fighters get hurt, they get up and go on to win fights all of the time. And you taking away from Ransom Bartholomew and you taking away from Gary Antuanne Russell, because now, right, now you're going to have fans say that Gary Antuanne Russell got exposed. Gary Antuanne Russell got a gift stoppage. You're going to have fans say all type of shit. And that's the doors you open as a ref when you do shit like that. So as far as the rematch, I would like to see a rematch because it was a competitive fight. I had Gary Antuanne Russell winning every round except for maybe like one, two at the most. I had Gary Antuanne winning every round but one, right? But like I said, it was a competitive fight, and it was competitive enough for me to want to see it again. And it was an exciting fight. So yeah, it was competitive and exciting, and I think that Ransom Bartholomew, I think that he deserves another shot, you know, to try to redeem himself. And I think it's going to be worse. And it's for Gary Antuanne Russell, man. He's a dog, you know. He had a lot of things that he was going through. But I think he needs to settle down, you know, as far as my critique with him. He needs to settle down, work behind his jab more. And, you know, use more head movement when getting inside. You know what I'm saying? I know he had a lot of built-up aggression and he couldn't wait to let it out. But, yeah. But other than that, Gary Antuanne Russell, he showed hard. He showed that he could take a hell of a punch. And he showed that he's just a dog. He's just a dog. And it's going to take a very special fighter to beat him. So, yeah. So, you know, shout out to the Russells. Shout out to Gary Antuanne Russell for coming through and doing like he always do and showing that thus far, ain't no fighter been able to stay, you know, the full 10 or 12 rounds with him. And I don't think Ransom Bartholomew was going to be able to do it either. And, you know, he got cracked, man. He got cracked. He got real good hand speed. And that's just is what it is, man. 817 says, yeah, I mean, Knockout say that was horrible stoppage. 817 says that, damn. He says the ref looks suspect from the jump. Like I said, any tall nigga that stays slumped over ain't confident and can't be trusted. Hey, you crazy as hell, man. Sheena, the queen Sheena is in the building. Chef Dre Boog, what's happening with it? T Hunt, Bless Two Fish, Manny, Samuel Washington. Oh, yeah, I'm excited about that, Samuel Washington. I'm going to touch on that, too, in a minute. Coach, Glove Up Boxing and More says he's not ready for Regis. I wouldn't say that. I would love to see him in Regis. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see him in Regis fight. That's a hell of a fight. And y'all got to understand, Gary Antuanne Russell, man, that was only his 16th fight, right? That was his 16th fight. That's it. 16 fights. When you got somebody like Jaron Ennis that came in the game the same time as Gary Antuanne Russell did, and he got, 29 fights. So that's on how the PBC is, that you can blame the PBC on that, right? Why does somebody like Jaron Ennis at this point have 29 fights and Gary Antuanne Russell just fought his 16th fight? So yeah, you're supposed to be getting him the competition and getting him the fights and keeping him active like that so he can continue to get better and better. But yeah, he'll continue to get better with experience. But hey, I think he's ready right now for anybody at 140 pounds. Anybody at 140. But what I need to see is Gary Antuanne Russell in no more than 3 months back in the ring again. I need to see the PBC give him another fight date within 3 months. Put him right back in the ring. He didn't really take no punishment like that. And yeah, put him right back in the ring. Bunny says, word on the streets is Plant pulled a Lil G versus Abel Sanchez and he released his coach. Yeah. So Plant, he is fighting. He's with Breadman now. He went over to the camp with Stephen Breadman Edwards. Yeah. So yeah, he did leave his coach. I don't know why, but you saying because his coach said he wanted more money. But Caleb Plant needed a change. He needed a change. I don't know. He been with that coach his whole career. So if it was me, I would have kept the coach. I would have kept him on my team, but I would have just added somebody else. But he needed to add somebody else. You feel me? But Gary Antuanne Russell is dangerous versus anybody because of also Gary Russell. Because of Gary Russell too. Gary Russell gives great instructions in the corner if you listen to him. And Gary Antuanne Russell, he makes the adjustments and he listens to the instructions that his brother give him. So that's a dangerous tandem. That's a dangerous tandem. OTB, what's happening with it? OTB in the building. But yeah, so coach, don't come in here talking about Gary need this and he need that and he ain't ready for Regis because that's a goddamn lie. He ready for Regis Prograde and stop acting like Regis Prograde don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? Regis Prograde, that's my guy. I fuck with Regis the long way. I fuck with him and Gary Russell like that, both of them. You know what I'm saying? And if they fought each other, I wouldn't be going for neither fighter. I just sit back and whoever win, right? But don't come in here with that bullshit, coach, talking about, oh, he ain't ready for Regis and acting like Regis is, you know what I'm saying, don't get hit. First of all, Regis, bro, Regis ain't fought nobody in a long time. Them opponents that Regis been fighting lately, yeah, he looking dominant because he been fighting some goddamn Rudy Poots. And it ain't Regis Prograde fault. You know what I'm saying? It's because none of the opponents that Regis been calling out, they willing to get in the ring with him. But that dude that Regis fought last time, I don't need over there in the UK, he was a Rudy Poot. So yeah, Regis looked good against him. And the opponent that he fought before that, Ivan Redcatch, he's some shit. He's some garbage. So Regis looked good against him. But when we see Regis step up in competition, Regis be getting hit a lot too. So let's just keep it 100, coach. Regis be taking a lot of shots too. And Regis is an aggressive come forward fighter, just like Regis Prograde. And both of them opponents is going to meet in the ring and it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be fireworks. You feel me? Both of them going to meet in the ring. It's going to be fireworks. And both of them fighters, they volume punchers. They going straight at you. Now one of them gonna back down. And the difference is Regis Bartholomew was big as fuck, and he was able to at times push Gary Russell Jr. back to the ropes and hold him. You know what I'm saying? Regis Prograis ain't nowhere near this motherfucking big. Look how big this dude is. Look how big Regis is. Regis came in the motherfucking he came in the fight looking like an NFL safety. Regis Bartholomew came in the fight looking like an NFL safety. And 817, Regis Prograis did not beat Josh Taylor. That wasn't no home cooking. It was a good close fight that I had Josh Taylor winning that fight. I had Josh Taylor winning that fight. It wasn't no home cooking. Y'all niggas need to stop talking about home cooking when it's a very close fight, a fight that can go either way. You know what I'm talking about? When it's a fight that can go either way, that's a close fight. That's not home cooking. That's just a fight that, you know, they sided with Josh Taylor. That was a close fight. And like I said, I was going for Regis. Regis Prograis is one of my favorite fighters by far. Money know this. Coach know this. But Regis did not beat Josh Taylor. It was a close fight that Regis, you know, he lost. He lost that fight. Wasn't no home cooking. So, you know, but speaking of Regis Prograis, they've been doing Regis Prograis wrong for a long time. It shouldn't have took this long for Regis Prograis to get another title shot. Regis Prograis, so what is it? The WB? What is it? The WBA or the WBC? Right? They ordered Regis Prograis and Jose Zepeda to fight. I can't wait. That's gonna be a hell of a fight. Y'all hit the like button. Regis Prograis and Jose Zepeda. Regis Prograis is finally gonna get his chance at another title. Jose Zepeda could fight his ass off. So it's a hell of an opponent that he's going to go in there and face. And I'm looking forward to seeing Regis Prograis put in work and get that strap. Matai, Yoel, salute, man. I appreciate you coming through and showing love in the super chat, man, supporting the channel. But I'm looking forward to see Regis and Jose Zepeda. That's a hell of a fight. And Regis, you know, becoming a champion again. I can't wait to see Regis get a strap because he deserved that belt again. And Regis been putting on for a long time, and he been overlooked. So, yeah, Jose Zepeda and Regis Prograis, they've been ordered to fight for one of them straps that Josh Taylor had to relinquish. Yeah, top dog. Yeah, they ordered that fight. And they got to and they have until August the 30th to get a deal done, or it's going to go to purse bid. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know what happened to the Jose Ramirez situation. So Knockout Boxer 86 TV, he says, let's not forget, the only reason Regis Prograis is getting this fight is because Jose Ramirez decided to get married instead of fighting Jose Zepeda. And Knockout is right, but I just didn't know what the circumstances was. Jose Ramirez and Jose Zepeda, they had announced that fight was pretty much already done. And Knockout Boxing is saying now that Jose Zepeda, he backed out. Jose Ramirez backed out of the fight, and now they placed Regis Prograis in. But see, what's fucked up about it is Regis Prograis, he should have been in the slot anyway, because Regis Prograis' last fight made him the mandatory for the WBC strap. He was supposed to be fighting his next fight for that strap anyway, and then all of a sudden, they announced that Jose Ramirez and Jose Zepeda was fighting each other for the strap. So, they tried everything they could to fuck Regis Prograis over until they had no choice. But to give him his shot. And he been waiting, I don't know how long for his shot. G5, what's happening with it? G5 Gabe in the building. Dub right side, what it do? In my opinion, what's happening? He said maybe Pro Bellum will put money behind a purse bid for Regis. Whoever got to put what money up, I just want the fight, to take place. It's been ordered, but we've seen plenty of times in boxing where fights have been ordered and it don't come to fruition. So let's see what go down with that, man. Now, let's talk about Danny Garcia. And y'all smash the like button. If you in the building and you ain't hit the like button yet, smash on my like button. Smash on the like. Ricky Williams, what's happening with it? Mr. Make the fucking fight. Let's talk about Danny Garcia this weekend, man. Danny Garcia, he came out and like I talked about on Friday, how he was making a million excuses for the Errol Spence loss. But I also talked about how I like Danny Garcia's attitude leading up to this fight against Jose Benavidez. I said that Danny Garcia, he looked, he looked like he was energetic, right? He looked very energetic. He looked like that, he was having fun throughout training camp. He had a smile on his face. The press conference, he looked in good spirits. And I said that it was going to be a bad night for Jose Benavidez. I said that Jose Benavidez was going to get his ass whooped. And Danny Garcia, let's talk about this fight, what we saw in the fight, though. I want to talk about what I saw Danny Garcia do in this fight, and I'm going to drop a couple links. Well, I'm going to send a couple links out to a couple of my people if y'all want to jump up here and talk about this, and then we'll get into the main topic. Let me see. Hold on. I got a couple links I'm going to send out. All right. So if check your inbox if you want, if you want, you could jump up on the panel and we're gonna cook on, what I saw from Danny Garcia this weekend. So Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez, they both came out real slow. They both came out real slow. Danny Garcia, he came out working the jab, working the jab to the body. I like the jab that he was working to the body. I really like the jab that Danny Garcia was working to the body, and he was stopping Jose Benavidez in his tracks, right? But he came out real slow. In the first few rounds, Danny Garcia wasn't really letting his hands go, but Jose Benavidez wasn't really letting his hands go either. And I kept saying to myself, I said, if they keep fighting at this pace, Danny Garcia going to win this fight pretty easily if they continue to fight at this pace, because the thing that we say about Danny Garcia is that he don't really let his hands go like that, And if you jump on Danny Garcia from the jump, right, like Errol Spence did, like Keith Thurman did, sometimes, right, he'll slow down and he won't let his hands go. But Jose Benavidez Jr. didn't do that. Jose Benavidez Jr., he came out slow and he was throwing a jab here and there, but he wasn't very active. And what happened is he gave Danny Garcia a time to get in his rhythm. He gave Danny Garcia a chance to get comfortable. And once Danny Garcia got comfortable and got in his rhythm, then he started letting his go. He was throwing combinations. Every time Jose Benavidez would come, with those power shots and come and try to utilize his jab and all of that, Danny Garcia would do something that I liked a lot. I loved it. He would go straight down to the body, right, and stop Jose Benavidez in his tracks with a straight shot to the solar plex, to the stomach, with that jab to the body. You feel me? And I always like that because a lot of fighters don't understand what that does to your opponent. It stops them in their track and it freezes them for a second. And then they have to reset again. And Danny Garcia was using that every time he felt Jose Benavidez Jr. coming forward and coming on, bam, he right to the body, and then he'll go up to the top with combinations. And he was mixing this work up real well. We all know that Jose Benavidez don't have a lot of movement. He's gonna be right there in front of you. He don't have lateral movement. And Danny Garcia, he was showing a lot of movement. Danny Garcia was on his toes. He was showing, lateral movement. He was showing his quickness. And overall, Danny Garcia looked like he had a lot of more energy at 154. Now, he don't look like he carried his power, because you could tell that Jose Benavidez was just walking straight through his power. Danny Garcia couldn't really hurt Jose Benavidez, but he was hitting him with some big shots, but he couldn't really hurt him. And a lot of times, Danny Garcia was hitting him, throwing big shots, but he couldn't get through Jose Benavidez Jr.'s guard. But all in all, man, to me, Danny Garcia, he did great work. Like I said, he utilized his jab very well, his jab to the body. He utilized movement. He looked quick. And, yeah, he looked good. He looked real good. He threw a lot of combinations, let his hands go in this fight. And Jose Benavidez, he couldn't keep up with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia was too quick for him, too swift on his feet. And he just, he was overall, he showed that he was an overall better fighter. And like I said, Danny Garcia, to me, he's going to need to get a little stronger if he going to fight, some of them dudes at 154, like Tony Harrison. We seen Tony Harrison say that he want that smoke. Tony Harrison have been saying that he want to smoke with Danny Garcia, and he feel like that Danny Garcia stepped up, but he ain't fighting no real 154-pounder. And it's going to be a lot different when Danny Garcia get in there with a Tony Harrison or a Sebastian Fundora or Erickson Lubin or some of them dudes, because them dudes can crack. And if Danny Garcia ain't cracking hard enough to keep them dudes off his ass, he going to have a long, long night. So I think that he need to continue to, get right back in the gym, work on getting stronger, and continue to work on, his game. And but as far as Danny Garcia's ring IQ, that was what I was most impressed with, his ring IQ this weekend, because he did what he was supposed to do, but all in all, he did it when he was supposed to do it, and he knew exactly what to do, when to do it. And shout out to Danny Garcia, man. He looked good. He looked good. So, Knockout, what you got, man?
Man, look, you said a lot of great things. Like, this is the first time. Well, I got an bad echo. I think we good. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is the first time, brother. I done seen Danny Garcia actually earn the name Swift. Since he been down at 140, bro. He was light on his feet. He was boxing well. He was using the jab. He was counterpunching Jose Benavidez well. But a lot of for a great performance that he put on, we got to deal in the facts. Number one, he was fighting a fighter who hadn't fought in 4 years, or had one fight in 4 years, I should say, and he lost the fight that he did have. in the past 4 years, in my opinion, or at the very least, it was a tough fight. I felt like he was gifted a draw, because I thought the other dude clearly outboxed him. So that's one thing. Like, who you look good against. Danny Garcia, as I told people leading up to the fight, he's always been on a different level from Jose Benavidez. He was going to outpoint him and win relatively easy by unanimous decision. Now, Danny Garcia, Key, you made a great point, bro. The power. He was a power puncher at 140, bro. Elite power puncher at 140. Got up to 147. He wasn't knocking out the top guys. He was having competitive fights. He still had a good punch. You know, you could still see that it had some oomph to it, but his KO percentage went down. Now he's fighting Jose Benavidez Jr., who wasn't a true 154 pounder. That was Jose's first fight at 154. He was coming up from 140. That's where he started his career. He actually came up to 147. I think he had a fight or two, and then he fought Terence Crawford. So he's a smaller guy coming up as well. So just seeing him kind of Danny outpoint him. I don't want to say in an amateur way because he was using the pro style, but just outpointing him, not really hurting him, that doesn't bode well to me for guys like Erickson Lubin, Tony Harrison, who wants to fight him, and specifically Sebastian Fundora. Nah, bro, leave that tall ass lanky ass dude alone. If you Danny Garcia and you want to continue to do your thing and continue to fight, but overall, bro, he did what he was supposed to do. This was set up for him to move up to 154, get acclimated to the weight, look good doing it. We just have to keep in mind he was fighting a fighter who has been very inactive. He was fighting a fighter who cannot move in the ring, you know. So maybe let's see if that swiftness, that foot movement, that ability to be agile in the ring. Let's see if Danny can hold on to that as he fights tougher competition at 154. But while it was a great performance and he won unanimously, and let me just say, Key, one thing you didn't speak on, the judge that scored the fight a draw, bro. The judge that scored the fight a draw, get him the hell out of boxing, bro. Like, really, what are you looking at that you can look at that fight with two good eyes and you a judge? Now, you're not just a fight fan, bro. You a judge. It's your job. They pay you to look at the fight, score the fight, so we can know who won the fight. And you scored that fight between Danny Garcia and Jose Benavidez Jr. a draw, bro? I don't know the judge's name, but no way should it say majority decision on Danny Garcia record, because somebody going to look back at this shit 5-10 years from now, and they ain't going to really go back and watch the fight, and they going to be like, oh, shit, yeah, Danny had a close fight. He moved up to 154, and he had a close fight against Jose Benavidez Jr. when that shit really didn't happen. That's why that shit is annoying to me. But the right man won, thankfully. He did his thing. He's moving on. But as far as the top of the division, I don't know, bro. He too small. He ain't got enough pop. And them guys, they going. I don't think he do nothing with none of them, bro. If I'm being perfectly honest with you. But if he want to fight at that division, he want to compete, put him in there, bro. I ain't tripping. But that's really all I got on the fight, bro. I think he eating, bro. Whoever.
No, I mean, I thought somebody.
Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, I was saying whoever came in here second, go ahead, bro. Yeah,
hey, I think Danny did what he was supposed to do because of the way Jose fought the fight. I'm more disappointed in Jose Benavidez than I am impressed with Danny Garcia's performance. I'm more disappointed in him because you supposedly got yourself back together, that you've been training and doing all this shit, but you steadily just walking to the man, letting him hit on you, and you posture and with all you sticking your tongue out. That shit don't do nothing in boxing, bro. It just let the referees know that you got hit. And if you would have, how do you train with your brother and you say you spoil your brother who throws a fucking million punches around? You can see that Danny Garcia couldn't hurt you, and you don't walk through him and beat on him and cut the ring off or mirror him and beat on him, because that's what should have happened. And that's what's going to happen when Danny Garcia run into a real 154-pound fighter who doesn't have a fucking one leg. When he runs into somebody at 154 who's a legitimate contender, which I don't think they're going to put him in there with that. I can guarantee y'all this. Y'all going to be sadly disappointed if y'all think Danny Garcia is going to get in there with the top dogs, because it's not going to happen. It's not gonna happen. Y'all expecting he's too small. We saw how big Jose was over. And you talk about somebody like Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison gonna stop Danny Garcia. Gonna stop him. He put him in there with any legitimate 154 pounder. He's done. This is just a ploy for Danny to get money. And I don't think Jose Benavidez went in there to win this fight because he didn't show that he wanted to win. Now, him sitting here with the bullshit I thought I won the fight. How, motherfucker? How? How the fuck do you think you won the fight when you didn't let your fucking hands go? You letting this little dude, because he's a little dude on the side of you, just pop, you hold your fucking hands in the high guard and don't let your hands go. When your brother is one of the fucking most volume punchers, and he's a bigger fucking dude than you. Usually smaller fighters let their hands go more. And you didn't let your hands go? The whole fight? Every time you did, you put pressure on Danny and made him retreat. Because he can't hurt you. Danny Garcia's power is not going to translate to 154. If he get in there with any one of the top dogs, he's going to get fucked up. I'm telling you, he's going to get beat up. He'll survive, or he gonna do like Mikey Garcia did with Errol Spence. Fight to survive if he get in there with a real one. So, I mean, like I said, Danny looked good, but Jose looked worse. I'm more impressed with. I'm more disappointed with the way Jose fought the fight than what Danny Garcia did, because he was more agile than Jose. And Jose fucking walking around like fucking Captain Hook with a fucked up leg. So, I mean, it is what it is. But don't expect much for Danny or winning a title at 154 because it ain't gonna happen. That's it.
Jose Benavidez need his head checked for talking about he won that goddamn fight.
Fact.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And when they took an intermission in between, I forgot what round it was in between. And David Benavidez talking about, yeah, he's winning every round. Like, bro, what fighters you watching? Y'all need to be real with this dude. Tell me getting his ass beat. You know, and that judge need their ass beat. That judge that scored that fight a draw. I only had Jose Benavidez winning like one round.
Yep.
Real talk. I had him winning about one round in that fight. But, Coach, let's not forget, Coach, you picked Jose Benavidez to win.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna produce, but that's only because I don't like Danny Garcia. Yeah, and I told y'all not to bet your money on this shit. I just said,
hey, but
he ain't really
didn't John Kramer
he ain't really believe that.
nah. I told you that though.
$100.
But knockout, I told you that though. I told you I didn't.
Yeah, he didn't really believe, because I tried to bet him immediately. As soon as he picked Jose Benavidez, I tried to bet his ass immediately. He was like, "No, I'm good."
I believe that John Kramer came in here and bet me. I got to run the show back, but I thought he came in here and bet me.
Yeah,
But
anyway, I wasn't just like I told everybody. Don't listen to me because I think Danny Garcia, but I'm pulling for Jose just because I don't like Danny Garcia, because I don't like the way they moved him. I got a little more respect for him now that he fought Errol, but before that he was moving like a bitch, and so that's the only reason. And another thing I wanted to say, now he's talking about fighting Keith Thurman at 154. For what? Then that's fighting a 147-pound fighter. The fuck you want to do that for?
Right.
You know, if you in 154, fight the 154. If they got him up there, they'll give you all the fucking smoke you want. You know, what you want to fight Keith Thurman for? I don't want to see that shit. I want to see you go fuck with them killers. You want to jump in this division, and you a fucking two-time world two-division world champion. Get your ass up in there with the motherfucking murder. They're gonna show you too small, and he is too small, bro. He's gonna get fucking hurt. I promise you. That's it.
Yeah. OTB.
Man, shout out to Angel Garcia for getting Danny in shape to use his legs for this fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta give Angel props finally, because I was ready to tear his ass up. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was ready to get on Angel last and damn near tell Danny to switch trainers. But Angel impressed me, telling him to bring his legs to the fight and also getting Danny ready in the pocket, the head movement. is something that really spoke volumes to me. Danny was comfortable in the pocket for the first time. You understand? He was comfortable getting out and getting away. And the combinations, he threw a 6-punch combination. I don't think I ever seen Danny throw one of them. Shit, I just don't. I don't think Danny ever looked that crispy. You understand? That ever had that high work output and punch volume. As far as him surviving at 154, shit, let's be real. Y'all act like Tony Harrison ain't got a glass jaw already. Tony Harrison will be winning the fight and take a blind left hook from Danny and go to night-night. Not to mention the history in Philly and Detroit, which is a lot of boxing history in that fight. So I don't know. I think that's a good fight. Pending we see the Danny Garcia that we just seen. If he go out there and sit flat-footed with Tony in the pocket the whole time, I don't think Danny got a chance in the dark. But just giving Tony Harrison's ability to be winning fights and end up losing them, you understand? You'll never be able to count Danny out, regardless of what his power display is, because we've seen how Tony Harrison take punches. And y'all know how I rock with the D, but shit, the truth is the truth.
OTB, I got a question for you.
Not to mention the Sergio Rodriguez, you understand? It's some smaller 154 pounders, and I don't really see a lot of big punchers if he could stay away from the likes of Brian Castaño and Charlo and the other one. And
I already know what you about to ask him,
tall one,
Coach.
Fundora.
I already know what you about to ask him, though. Great minds.
As long as he can stay away from them three, as far as they punch volumes, Danny can survive at 154. And Charles Conwell, stay away from him.
OTB.
What up?
So you saying because of Tony Harrison, does Danny Garcia punch hard as Jamel Charlo?
That ain't the only person to put Tony Harrison to sleep.
Who else?
We seen Jared Swift Hurd put him to bed. And Jared Swift Hurd
Danny Garcia
ain't no big
like
power puncher.
Come on,
Jared
bro.
Swift Hurd ain't no big power puncher. He wasn't
That
putting people to
man
sleep.
walk around at 200 pounds, bro. That man walk around at 200 pounds. That man big as shit, bro.
Man, that OTB.
But he wasn't a big puncher. He was a high volume puncher. He wasn't a big puncher. He wasn't putting people to sleep. We didn't fear his power.
If Danny Garcia get in there with Jared Hurd gonna walk through that little fucking 140, 447 pound bullshit and beat the fuck out of Danny. And beat him up,
Coach, he won't even have to walk through shit. Y'all realize Danny Garcia reaches 68 and Tony Harrison shit is 76 or some crazy ass shit like that, bro.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
He's not even.
We just seen Danny fight a whole fight in the pocket. And when Jamel caught his ass, where Danny was at, where Tony was at, in the pocket. When Jared Swift Hurd caught his ass, where he was at, in the pocket. Come on, now.
You talking about
in the pocket
dudes that walk around probably at 190 fucking pounds when they not in camp, bro. You talking about big fucking dudes compared to Danny Garcia, bro. We just saw him look small against Jose, bro. He don't.
And we didn't. So we ain't never seen bigger fighters dominated by little fighters.
What I'm saying is,
you're not talking about the most polished fighters either.
He's not gonna outbox Tony Harrison, dog. Stop that. Tony Harrison.
Danny Garcia will get the shit boxed out of him by Tony Harrison. And the thing is, OTB, is Tony Harrison.
And you don't know which Tony Harrison gonna show up.
He's gonna use that jab. He's gonna turn him. He's gonna use his footwork. He's gonna outbox the shit out of Danny Garcia. Now I don't see him stopping Danny Garcia, but I definitely don't see Danny Garcia stopping Tony Harrison. Danny Garcia power it hasn't carried. It didn't carry up to 147. He still had power at 147 for sure, but he ain't had that one punch knockout power. Dudes is able to stand up to that, and now you see at 154. You getting in the ring with Tony Harrison, he like 6'1".
Willie Monroe. It's a lot of fighters that's embedded Tony Harrison.
You know what I'm saying?
That jaw ain't
one. Willie Monroe ain't knock out Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison? What you talking about, bro?
Nah, I'm just saying, man. I done seen fighters put it on Tony Harrison, man. And
Jared Hurd, and he was beating Jared Hurd.
He put his ass to bed in the pocket. That's how it happened. We just seen Danny fight in the pocket.
Is he ran out of gas. We seen Willie Nelson early on. He stopped Tony Harrison, but you know what I'm saying? Like that shit was a fluke. What did Willie Nelson go on to do in his career? Nothing.
He stopped him. Man, did you see how he stopped him? Did you watch that fight?
Yeah, I seen the fight.
He beat his ass toe to toe. And
I seen that fight. That was what, 2016?
He beat
These
it.
are
He still had the
naturally
same
bigger
problem.
guys.
Was it like 2015? Where did that fight
Yes,
happen?
they bigger guys, but it's still boxing. You still have the same problem when it comes to
Danny
fighting
Garcia
in the pocket.
power don't carry like that at
It ain't
154.
gonna carry to hurt them dudes is what I'm telling you, bro. He can't. He's not no fucking where he can sharpshoot these dudes.
Tony Harris.
Tony Harrison is a fucking great boxer, bro. Look at his that motherfucker smooth as butter, bro. Of course, he lost to some guys.
He is until he start winning, and then they get put on his button, and it's
That
a
last
totally
fight
different
you saw
fight. Let's not act like this don't happen.
What I'm telling you is,
We gonna act like that the history ain't there.
No, OTB, the history is what it is. But what I'm telling you is this: those guys that put Tony Harrison down are much bigger guys with much better power than Danny Garcia at 154 pounds. That's the fucking key. If I'm gonna tell you right now, if Danny Garcia hit Tony Harrison and he don't feel it, Danny Garcia gonna get fucked up. That's all I'm saying. You saw Jose walking through that shit, bro. You talking about a much bigger and better fighter than Jose Benavidez, bro. They going to fuck Danny Garcia up.
And that jab, Danny Garcia won't be able to get inside on Tony Harrison. That long ass jab that Tony Harrison got, he gonna, man.
And he's
always fucked up against Spence. He gonna fuck Danny Garcia eye up with that long ass jab.
Bro, come on, dog. It
Man,
don't matter.
Danny and
Because
Philly,
if they make
man,
that fight,
Danny and Philly, where they don't teach boxing in the pocket like nowhere else in the world. Trust me. And that display he just showed y'all is the Danny that you gonna see at 154. And I'm sorry, man. You're not gonna tell me he ain't had problems fighting in the pocket before in his career. Yes, he have. And that fighters done put it on his button. Given that this was Danny's first fight at 154, we don't know that his power won't carry over. You talking about a Jose Benavidez also that went 12 rounds with a Terence Crawford. So let's not underestimate his integrity in that ring, neither, to just be saying that Danny's power ain't carry over, and we seen Danny sitting on his shots a lot more.
We just saw him sit on the shots, and a dude walked through that shit like it was butter.
He couldn't hurt him.
Dude, come on, bro. Dude, you talking about bigger men. They bigger dudes. Danny Garcia's like 5'8". These dudes
wasn't putting nobody to bed. Them wasn't big power punchers. They wasn't. Jerry Hurt wasn't putting nobody to bed.
Bro, he fucking
Willie Nelson either.
Okay. But the difference
they just
is
wasn't. They wasn't putting their soul to bed.
But
they fight at
regardless of their
size.
OTB, what you're not saying is that Tony Harrison, he wore down. He wasn't in shape to go the full 10, 12 rounds in them fights. That's what happened in those fights. He gassed out.
Which was one of my points. We still don't know which Tony Harrison gonna show up. You never know which Tony Harrison gonna show up.
In shape or no shape, Danny Garcia don't have the power to stop him.
They too small. He's too small. Bro, that's weight divisions for a reason. He's too small, bro. That's what I'm telling you. You don't think they was licking all the 154 dudes right now. I guarantee you, when they saw this fight with Jose Benavidez, they start salivating, bro. They looking at Danny like, oh, this is a nice fucking steak to get on my resume and fuck him up because he's too small and that motherfucker can't hurt. Right. I know they were salivating. You could see Tony Harris' face. He was like, oh, I want this fucking fight. Bro, it's gonna be too easy, bro. I'm telling you. Danny is a good fighter. But at 147, he's a good fighter. At 154, dog, it's not gonna track. He's too small.
And Jay West said some real shit. This was some real shit he said, and it's a fact. He says Danny does not fight at a pace to tire Harrison out. Harrison will pick Danny apart. Yeah, and you have to fight at a certain pace to tire Harrison, and Danny don't fight at that pace. That's a bad stylistic matchup for Danny Garcia at 154.
And he left-handed? No, bro. He gonna that eye gonna get
let's move
it's gonna
on.
be hard to get away from that reach.
Let's move on. With all that being said, man, I'm excited to see what he gonna do at 154, but he gonna have to make the right moves, right? He's going to have to pick his opponents very carefully at 154. But I think that Danny Garcia, I don't know, man. He need to get stronger. But he's going to have to change his fighting style like he did in Jose Benavidez. Like we seen him change up. We seen him, get on his toes and be swift. Use lateral movement, use his legs. And that's how he going to have to fight at 154. On his toes and be swift. That's how he's going to have to fight at 154 pounds to have any type of success. But I told y'all that he was going to beat Jose Benavidez ass. I said Jose Benavidez looked horrible his last fight. I said, yeah, he'll probably look better, but how much better could he look? And I told y'all, I said, go back and look at Danny Garcia last fight against Errol Spence, and then go back and look at Jose Benavidez fight against that whoever he had fought. And that'll give you your answer on how that fight was going to play out. And it played out just like I told y'all it would. Danny Garcia, Errol Spence didn't have an easy fight against him. I don't know why people keep saying that shit. Danny Garcia was winning some rounds against Errol Spence. He was causing Errol Spence some problems, but yeah, Errol Spence was a shell of himself. He had been out of the ring for all that time and went through all of that, trauma that he went through. But Danny Garcia, Errol Spence didn't just walk through him. Now, Errol Spence beat him more clearly than any of the other fighters had beat him, but it was still a very competitive fight. So yeah, Money, before we get off this Danny Garcia situation, you just came in the building. What you want to add, on what you saw from Danny this weekend? Money. Did you want to?
Yeah, Keith. Talk to my sister's birthday right now.
He told me happy birthday, but he talking to Keith.
I told her happy birthday this morning.
Tell sis I said happy birthday.
Thanks, bro. Right.
This woman is
Happy birthday.
making up stuff. What's up, Ron? She making up stuff. I called her last night at 12. She didn't answer. She was going to work this morning, walking out the door. I said, happy birthday, Rita. She ain't worried about that. She looking for one thing only. Shit, I know what people look for on their But
hey, you better give Rita that paper. Rita wrote that paper.
Money. Yes, so this talk about Danny Garcia, right? His situation, Key, with the fight.
Yeah.
Well, I like good scrap for Danny, right? Get Danny all the credit in the world. I think everybody on the panel had Danny winning, right? If I'm not mistaken. But I knew he was gonna win this fight. I said the body work was gonna be a key for Danny. Danny looked damn good going from the body up. He still showed us some of the things been a little slow. What we seen Benavidez catching his ass with the jab, catching him with good corner shots, and Danny was very cautious in this fight. If y'all go watch and see, he was very cautious to where he didn't really want to make too many mistakes, to where he stood there and tried to change to the maximum, right? He did it at the end where he showed where, all right, let's go, and he showed some little nuts, but he's being very cautious, which was smart because it kept him sharp and it kept him on point to where, he was landing good jabs, and Benavidez kept getting closer to him. Like Benavidez helped Danny tag his ass, because he a fighter himself, and you want to try to catch Danny and hurt him himself. So it was very entertaining, bro. Danny going from the bottom up. I always say that shit though. When Danny started from downstairs and go upstairs, he fast. You know what I'm saying? And he looked a little faster than Benavidez last night, and he did his thing, man. He did his thing to the point to where he looked good against somebody like a Benavidez who was coming from 147 up to 54, and that won a solid 154 pounder, which Benavidez still had a little size on him too. You can't take that away from him. But Danny did his thing. He went out there, but against the top cats, he ain't gonna have that luxury. He ain't gonna have that luxury, and that's why I ain't gonna say he dodged Tony Harrison and shit like that. That's why he didn't mention Tony Harrison's name, because a straight boxer at 54 is gonna pick him apart. They ain't gonna give him the luxury of giving him what he wants and standing in the inside and banging it out. Because we seen Benavidez, he a fighter, bro. We seen that with Terence Crawford. We see that in all his fights. He's a fighter. So when you're a fighter and you fight Danny Garcia, yeah, you're gonna be in a little trouble because Danny ass can fight. That's what Danny do. He's a fighter, bro. He's a slick counter puncher. And like I say, if you taller, he's going to start from downstairs to go upstairs on your ass. But against somebody like a Tony Harrison who jabs the shit out your ass and know how to use range and distance, he'll pick Danny as apart. Now Danny will get some good shots in, you know what I'm saying, every now and then. But Tony will pick Danny apart, bro. I just think at 154, none of them top cats he go beat. You what I'm saying? None of them top cats we can look at that he gonna be. He might have a opportunity against the fighters, but the boxers they can use they height and they reach, they gonna pick him apart, bro. You know. But respect to him last night, though, he did what he had to do. Went there and got a good win at 54, right? Against the fighters like the Jose Benavidez, who I say he always step up to the plate for those type of fighters. Let's go fight his ass. He gonna be on point. And he looked damn good. He was in a good spirit. He was in good shape. He felt good out there, you know, and he did his thing. So salute to him, bro. I ain't taking nothing away from him. But at 54, to me, I don't think Danny will be a world champion. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll be a world champion. But I think he'll get a few good fights. He'll bring a good payday because of who he is, and you got the Puerto Rico fan base and New York really fuck with Danny. But to me, against certain fighters, he won't be a world champion.
Well, we know how boxing is, money. You know what I'm talking about? You could fuck around and, you know, grab a vacant title if Jermell Charlo, you know, once Jermell Charlo, I think Jermell Charlo got like 1 or 2 more fights left at 154, right? Then he gonna vacate the titles, and all them titles gonna get split up, right? So Danny could grab one of them titles because, you know, the shit, bro. They could have Danny fight Ivan Redcatch and shit for a vacant title at 154. You know how they do in boxing. It just all depends how bad the sanctioning bodies want you to be a champion. Now, if they want Danny Garcia to be a champion for that paper, they're going to make sure if them belts get split up that Danny Garcia is going to be able to grab one of them belts.
Right, especially him talking about fighting Laura at 55 for the 160-pound title and shit. Which
I don't
think
understand that. How can you fight? How can you be fighting at 55 but have 160-pound title? That shit don't make no sense to me.
They say Canelo and Cotto do the shit, so I guess they say like fuck it. Well, if they can do it, let us do it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that shit don't make. If you at 160, if you got 160-pound title, whether it's a regular belt or whatever, you should be fighting at 160.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? But Blue Blood Sports TV in the building. What's happening with it? And we just had the boxing section TBS and Kyle join the building, and the shit starter 817 joined the building.
817. That's a fucked up
That's my nickname for him. That's been my nickname. 817. No, that's been my nickname for him. The shit starter 817. Yeah.
What's going on, man? What's going on? All the kings on the panel. What's up, chat?
And he finally got my boy Batman right. You know what I'm saying? He finally got my boy Batman. He got the fam, you know, rest easy to the fam Batman.
Yeah, shout out to Keith, man. He had to clean me up on the picture. You know what I'm saying? So shout out, Keith.
He was making Batman. You doing him bad.
He had bad looking homeless and shit, man.
y'all know Bat wouldn't give a damn. Bat would use that motherfucker his damn self.
Hell yeah, he would. Hey, man. Oh snap, man. What's happening, Kyle? What you got? You know, your take on this before we move on.
Hey, I like what I seen from Danny Garcia. I like what I seen from him. I disagree. I think, you know, they're gonna make a way for him to get a belt. You know what I'm saying? The WBA is gonna find a way to get him a belt because you know they love Al Haymon fighters, so they're gonna find a way to get him a belt. But he looked good though, man. You know what I'm saying? All things considered. I mean, he had that long ass layoff, 19 months. That he was a good fighter though. I mean, Jose Benavidez came to fight though. He was way bigger than him too. So for him to do what he did was cool. I just think Benavidez, man, he just can't move out the way, man. He can't really shift with that leg, man. He keeps saying his leg's 100%, but it's clear, man, it ain't 100%, man. It's keeping him from doing a lot of things that he probably could have done. I think it'd have been an even harder fight if he could have had some lateral movement. You know what I'm saying? It's like side to side movement. And yeah, I think Danny Garcia might get another belt, man. He better stay away from Tony Harrison though.
Big Drew Tight in the building. I see you, Drew. Salute.
Yeah, he don't want that. He don't want that Tony Harrison work though.
Nah.
Let me get a piece of that, man. The boy ran up here to try to get him one of them vacant belts. Key, you touched on it. You know what I'm saying? He hoping after Charlo beat Zoo. You know what I'm saying? They dropped them belts before Earl can run up there and collect them all. and he can get that last little championship. You know what I'm saying? But I think his daddy want him to fight Earl again. I think his dad is the one pushing him with that bullshit, and they thinking that they can run up here and sneak a belt and then try to command a little something. You know what I'm saying, on a rematch. But he ain't gonna do nothing but get that ass whooped again.
He just to me though, even like Cholo not gonna vacate nothing until Earl come up anyway. So he go fight Tszyu, and then after that he probably fight another opponent.
Said he was
Made a
leaving.
fucking mandatory. By that time, Earl gonna been came up, and still the cats that's gonna be in line, the Castanos, the Tony Harris's and them gonna still be right there. I still don't see Danny beat none of them dudes to become a world champion. So I stand on my word. I don't think Danny will be a world champion.
I don't think so either. I think the nigga gonna fight somebody in the chat said earlier, like a Terrell Garcia or some shit like that. It's gonna be a motherfucker like that. It ain't gonna be nobody a note unless it's Keith Thurman
Adrian
funk ass.
Rodriguez.
But Garcia not in a position. To me, he's not in a position to fight for a world title. Like them cats that's gonna be in position, that's gonna be mandatories that's sitting right there for them world titles. There's gonna be some hungry motherfuckers right there, and it's gonna be some niggas that's real dogs, right? And people gonna look at it because they got losses on their record that they not gonna be this that, but then ain't gonna be able to handle that the pressure or the physicality of them big 54 pounders, bro.
Nah, I think that was his goal to try to get one of them bacon boys, but he ain't, because he ain't gonna fight none of them. You're right.
Yeah,
I just
Sergio
seen some
Garcia,
shit
my
right
bad.
now, and I want to cook on it real bad, but I'm gonna save it for money. I'm gonna give it to money, and I'm gonna go on his show. We gonna have to cook on this money. You going on later, right?
Yeah.
We gonna have to cook on this. I want to cook on this nigga so bad, and I know 817 he gonna get all over this shit. 817 gonna jump all over this shit. This right.
I want to say some shit, but I ain't gonna say it, Keith.
I want to cook on this nigga real bad right now. He got the motherfucking nerve, but I'm gonna just leave it because if we get to cooking on this, we gonna be cooking on this for a long ass time, and everybody gonna want to jump on this shit.
Hey, but I think Danny can beat Castano though.
And let me say this, Keith. Castano beat the fuck out of Danny. Let me say this, Keith.
It's the pressure.
No, gotta remember, bro. Remember, look, Danny Garcia is Danny Garcia is a great counterpuncher, bro.
Man,
and that's why he can beat him. I'm telling you, bro.
No third.
You said what?
I want to say this. I'm getting a lot of flack from this shit, Keith. Right? I put on my Instagram that Earl put niggas in depression mode, right? And I still say salute to Danny for coming out and speaking on it, right? When we look at the situation, we seen Kell Brook come out and talk about him going into depression and drinking after Errol Spence beat his ass. Danny Garcia, he went into depression after Errol Spence beat his ass. Mikey Garcia said you're never the same when Errol Spence beat your ass. Sean Porter, he was 1 foot in, 1 foot out after Errol Spence beat his ass. So motherfuckers getting pissed off about that shit and what Earl said, right? What Earl said is, I'm not worrying about a rich nigga being depressed, right? And he got the right to say that shit on the simple fact of like, not that it's fucked up that you're in depression mode, but you're a rich motherfucker, right? What do you, and I'm not saying that life is always good with niggas and shit like that and these things don't happen. But what Earl was saying, like, nigga, what the fuck is you depressed about when you got niggas out here don't know where their next meal coming from? Motherfuckers don't know how they gonna pay their rent. You got motherfuckers out here that's really, really in a depressed state, right? And people say the same shit about Ryan Garcia. Like, I do give it to people that, okay, you could be in that type of mode. And we know money don't make you happy and shit like that. But like, come on, bro. Like, it's real motherfuckers out here with depression. So it's like, I'm not knocking the situation, but because Danny get up there and drop a few motherfucking tears and this, that, and the third, he might be in a fucked up state in his life. You know what I'm saying? But put all of the bullshit up. Man, y'all making like third and that, you know, he was wrong by saying this and he wrong. Like Earl said, I was coming back from a whole goddamn car crash. I could have died and all that shit. And your daddy talking about, oh, he ain't the same. I can see it in his eyes. I can do this. And I get in there and beat the shit out of you. And y'all make 1,000 excuses on why I whooped your ass. Oh, it's anxiety. Oh, it's depression. Oh, it's this, it's that. Like, come on, man, with the bullshit, bro.
Just I'm gonna say this, money. I think is that these dudes, they look at Errol Spence, right? And they like, oh, ain't nothing special, because you hear it all the time. Ain't nothing special about him. He don't do shit special. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got all that flashy shit. He like the Tim Duncan. But then when they get in the ring with him and they get their ass beat, they embarrassed because they like, damn, I ain't think, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was all hype. And this motherfucker just beat my ass. And I wasn't expecting that. And Danny Garcia, it's the depression came from taking another L on your record. Because, see, people got to remember, he said he was depressed after he lost to Keith Thurman. He said it took him forever to get over that Keith Thurman loss.
I think he won that fight too, though.
The depression
I
comes
think
from
he beat
that
Thurman.
he has. I think the depression comes from that he have his. He got his city on his back, but it's really his father. And his father embeds in his head that nobody's better than you. Nobody can beat you, Danny. And then when somebody beats him, they make a million excuses. So I think that causes him to be depressed. It's them taking them L's.
Because if he'd have won,
the pressure of being a fighter.
if he'd have won,
All fighters have that pressure, but it's just how you deal with that pressure.
Facts, and that's what scare you is when you can't admit that your ass lost.
If that boy would have been came,
I saw something very. Oh my bad, money.
Earl had 2 titles when he fought. Danny, he had 2 titles. He had 2, right? So if Danny would have beat Earl and became the unified champion, he would have been the happiest motherfucker in the world. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm not, like I said, once again,
Right.
there's no Dr. Danny saying that he wasn't depressed or none of that shit. Because I know mental health is real and all that shit, but it's like he said, it's coming from you getting your ass whooped inside that square circle and things of that nature. It's not like it's something that you sitting down and wow, you really going through a mental health depression situation. You know what I'm saying? It's probably the pressure on your ass from your daddy, and you walk around, motherfuckers, damn, am I really that good and shit of that nature, right? So what Earl was saying and what I put on my shit, it wasn't a dog Danny. Like I said, still salute to him. Like Earl said too, I respect you for coming out speaking on this shit that a lot of people that don't want to speak on it, but you know, you still got to look at the time on this shit too, bro.
And what it is, money, is honesty about what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Like, look, he could have been experiencing depression and shit after. It's very well possible. I mean, we seen other motherfuckers have the same issue after. But the honesty about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't gonna be honest to the world about why the fuck he was truly depressed. You was truly depressed because Earl whooped your ass. And it was obvious. Him and his daddy fell out right in front of the world behind it. You feel what I'm saying? So hell yeah, it sent him into a depression because the motherfuckers that support him the most, the motherfuckers that he trying to prove himself to the most, he disappointed. You know what I'm saying? We seen how emotional daddy being in behind his daddy. He been seeking his daddy love the entire time. We talk about it all the time with these fathers and their fighters. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes needing to step back and let go. We seeing fathers that have never stepped back and never given their room to sons to grow. And what? We seen the motherfucking results of it.
The disappointment lasts longer when you don't admit that you ain't the better fighter. Shit,
it's the pressure. But see, I think a lot of that pressure, because it's the pressure that turns into depression. And I think that a lot of that pressure is coming from not being truthful. The people around you not being truthful to you, right? And you not being truthful to yourself when you know deep down inside that man he was just better than me. But I can't admit it because I got my daddy that's gonna cuss me out when I tried to say, look, remember after the Errol Spence fight, he tried to say that Errol Spence, man, his jab was just a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. And he was just a lot better than I thought he was gonna be. It's different once you get in the ring with him. He said that he was just a better man, and his daddy went off on him. He went off on him. And so that's where that shit spans from. It's like, damn, you know, my dad means more to me than anybody in the world, you know, besides my kids. But y'all know what I'm saying. And I let my dad down. And now because I got him looking at me every day and he thinks the world of me. Like he thinks the world of me. He think I can't lose to nobody. And so that's where that depression comes from. And it's pressure. To me, you know, I don't know if it's real depression or if it's just so much pressure. I think it's so much pressure that caused him to be in the depressive state, saying shit when he admitted he was the same way when he lost to Keith Thurman. It only happens when he's taking these L's. Like Money said, he wouldn't have been depressed if he had to beat Errol Spence.
Facts.
Well, shit, we don't know that though. Because listen, niggas they're gonna tell you everything they got going on. Like, you know what I mean? When I was in high school, I had probably the worst time of my fucking life. And people to this day still don't know what I was going through. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't share everything that I was going through. You feel what I'm saying? So we don't know exactly what was going on. Because shit, we don't know. Motherfucker might have stole $1 million from the nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
he probably couldn't, you know, he probably got some property or something. Anything could have happened. We don't know if it was just a fight game. You know what I'm saying? It was part of it. But I'm saying
If
we don't know all the shit. You feel what I'm saying?
but Kyle,
Because
in
after he
boxing,
fought people, what?
Kyle, you can't spread. See, boxing different than anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's a man putting his motherfucking hands on you. It's one look. It's one thing to lose to somebody in a card game, shooting baskets, football, something like that. But boxing is mano a mano. You can't blame the trainer, if a motherfucker beat your ass, a motherfucker just beat your ass. And it's
Facts.
not just about that. You have to live with it afterwards. And you seen when Danny, just like he said, when Danny tried to say that Earl was just a better man that night, his daddy got on his ass, and you seen immediately him slump his shoulders, sit back, and want to be the man that he feel like he is, but he had to capitulate to his daddy.
And
That's
as
that
much as
pressure that Key was talking about. And again, OTB, when you have motherfuckers around you that won't be honest with you, right? And
facts.
keep blowing your head up, with pride cometh a motherfucking fall. Just know, it just ain't for Danny. That's universal.
Let me
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
y'all
everybody
something, bro. Let me tell y'all
goddamn it.
something.
My only thing is, shit, when all of that shit go out the door, once we put them gloves on, once somebody swing on you, you ain't thinking about nothing other than fucking that man up. So once you
Bro,
swing, goddamn it, just know where that man head at, and he is wet in there. Once you admit that your head wet in there, then where the hell was it?
man,
Because
let me
it was
That
there
ain't
when
what
it
he
was.
said before the fight, though.
It
He
was
said
there
before the fight,
when
he
it
had
was
the big
down
camp.
10 punches,
let
7
me let
rounds into the
knockout.
fight.
Let me let knockout get a word in. Then we got to move on to the main topic.
yeah, I wanted to say something too.
Go ahead, coach.
Um,
Go ahead.
this is what y'all have to understand. Because me and my son played college baseball. My son, I was coaching him for a long time. I went to college and played baseball. So I put pressure on him that I maybe shouldn't have, and he went through the same thing. I think that Danny Garcia, maybe not now, because I think they probably hashed it out. But after that fight, um, it's Danny Garcia having problems because of not because he loves boxing as much as he loves his dad. I think it's
Yeah,
his dad. I think he's having more issues with disappointing his father more than anything in the world. He has a fear of disappointing his dad, even if he give his all, like he did in the Errol Spence fight. He just wasn't good enough. He just wasn't a better fighter. And Key hit it on the head when he said that, his jab was a lot better. And Angel sat there and said, "No, no, no. You saw everything. You saw everything." Well, you taken away from the kid because of the fact that he was in there, the one getting hit, motherfucker. So he did his best. He just came up short. He lost to a better fighter, and that's what Dan and Angel shouldn't have did that in front of the world. He shouldn't have made Danny feel the way he made him feel, because Danny, I think he's doing this more for his dad than anybody. I'm gonna be
Fact,
honest with you.
coach.
I think he's doing this shit more for his dad. Now, have they hashed it out in the background, which may have healed some shit? Maybe so, and Danny may be regaining a love for the sport. But if it was up to Danny Garcia, I don't think Danny Garcia would still be fighting, to be honest with you. I think this is more of him trying to show his dad, and he love his dad that much. But Angel is sometimes very abrasive, and you can see that he don't care if he hurt his kid's feelings sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's grown. They've grown after the Errol Spence loss, and they hashed it out. Maybe they went to therapy. I don't know, but he got a lot of issues with his father and not wanting to disappoint him. That's
That's a
all I have
fact.
to say.
That's a fact, coach. When he said he don't care if he hurt his feelings sometimes, because he said himself, "I don't care if I hurt dad feelings. I'm here to tell. I'm the dad. I'm here to be the," because he want to be the coach and the father. But sometimes he try to separate the two. And when he be a coach, you want to be a steadfast coach. To where when he was talking that shit about Errol Spence, he's not the same fighter. Just imagine what he's saying to Danny. Like, this motherfucker ain't the same, Danny. Like, this guy is this. And then you lost to a motherfucker who was this. Like, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But all I know is, when Earl said what he said, them over trying to jump on him like he was being, just heartless and shit of that nature. You gotta look at what the man's saying and why he's saying what he's saying. Like I say, this not taking nothing away from Danny having being depressed and shit like that, because it do come over you. It's not like you diagnosed with that shit. Because if you was diagnosed with it, then you'd have been dealing with this shit since you was a youngster up to now. Like he said, he came out of his own mouth and said after the Keith Thurman loss, he got depressed. So it's like when you're in those big time fights like that and you lose to those type of dudes, it does something to your ass to where it'll put a damper to your spirit. And sometimes people take that as being depressed and shit like that, where it can just be you got your ass whooped, you got to get up out of that funk. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes they use depression.
And we can't discredit how important confidence is.
Let me get this super chat in.
Let
me get this super chat in. Let me get the super chat in, and I'm gonna get to and then I'm gonna get to knockout, and then we gotta move.
I'll wait for the next topic, bro. Y'all pretty much cooked on everything. I don't want to repeat nobody, so you just catch it and then go to the next topic, bro.
Sometimes
money. Let me get this super chat in. Get this super chat in. My man Gerardo Medina says, Danny overbearing, addicted dad, always wanting to be in front of the mic and the star of the press conference is a source of his anxiety and depression. Yeah. I mean, I think it has, like me and Coach was saying, man, it has to do with him not wanting to let his father down. His father means more to him than any. You heard him in the ring. You heard him in the ring, and he showed everybody how much his father means to him and how much it means to himself to make his dad happy. The ones that grew up playing sports that have fathers, I mean, we all should be able to understand that.
Gotta say that.
And we saw Keon. We heard the stories about when Danny was a little kid, an amateur, right? And he beat him, fought for the championship and lost. And then another fight, in amateur programs, you get to see fights, and it's constant fights all day, and then for a weekend sometimes. And he would lose, and he's going to play with the other kids.
Yeah.
And Angels want to slap the kid off. You shouldn't be playing and having fun right now because you should have won the championship. Bro, that's fucked up, bro. This kid, he's a kid. You know what I'm saying? You gotta teach a kid to brush it off and come back stronger, but you don't fucking. He lost, bro. What the fuck? Why are you gonna smack this kid because he's being a fucking kid?
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
And as much as they don't want to give him credit, they got better at all the things they needed to do to win that fight against EJ. It's funny that y'all won't give him credit and say that he beat us, but y'all get better in the pocket.
His ways still the same. Like Andrew Garcia, that motherfucker don't change. His ways probably still the same, and even more raw since then he is a grown man. Probably don't put his hands on him, but you can try to verbal abuse. Use more verbal abuse than physical abuse now. And I just want to say this, kid, you can move on. Sometimes, like, I just feel like certain things don't be mental health, right? Like when they say mental health, like you got to be mindful. Okay, depression, yes, I see a motherfucker getting down. You can get depressed on that shit, but like mental health is some shit that you got to get treated for. And I think sometimes they misuse that word, bro. Not saying it ain't true, but sometimes I just think that word get misused, like robberies and shit in boxing. Like sometimes that word get misused, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, and y'all hit the like button. If y'all ain't hit the like button in the building, smash the like button. Now we're gonna cook on this next topic I've been wanting to cook on. Smash on the like button. Now,
facts, Omega.
I talked about this before. Steven Espinoza coming out, and this is in regards to the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight. My feeling, and it's getting, I don't know, like. I thought it was going to happen. I was like, yeah, it's going to happen for sure. But now it's kind of like in the 50-50 space. And we know what that means in boxing. When it get to that 50-50, the fight is 50-50. It could happen. It can't. It might not happen. We heard Steven Espinoza talking. I talked about this on Friday, I believe, how Steven Espinoza came out and he says that, talks haven't, they're still, talking. They still trying to get things ironed out. And, the good thing is that both of the fighters haven't walked away yet. But if you listen to how Steven Espinoza was sounding, just like I told y'all on Friday, he's sounding like he's like really, I don't know. We kind of at a roadblock. Now, I told y'all a long time ago, right? And people said I was capping. Now, Bernie came and told y'all the exact shit I told y'all well over a month, 2 months ago. I said the problem behind the scenes, right? One of the problems is, but Bernie didn't, you know, he didn't say it was Terence Crawford, but that I've been knowing what's going on behind the scenes, right? It's more investors that came in that's willing to put up more money for the fight. So Terence Crawford, you know, supposedly what I was hearing a long time ago is that, you know, when we was hearing like, oh yeah, the fight definitely gonna happen and all that shit, when we was getting announcements from, you know, the dude people at ESPN that they had a fight date and all that. Well, Terence Crawford had already kind of agreed to whatever, you know, money that he was gonna take. But then they found out more investors came in. And now he like, nah, I want more bread. I want more money than that. Now, Bernie, he did a show last night and he said, look, there's more investors on the table, right? It ain't necessarily coming from PBC. He said that Terence Crawford, who says that Terence Crawford don't have his own people putting up money for the fight. So with that being said, yeah, it's just like I told y'all a long time ago when everybody said I was capping. It's more money on the table. That they saying is more money on the table. So if it's more money on the table, we want more money up front. We want more money up front. And so it's a standstill, right? And you know, as far as all that go, I've been and told people that PBC is looking to make a return on their investment. This is a business. They're not looking to put on fights just to please the fans. They could give a fuck. These higher ups, the Steven Espinozas, the motherfucking Al Hayes.
Somebody mute that mic.
Somebody need to mute themselves.
Yeah, somebody need to mute. Yeah, all them dudes. Everybody go on mute right now because I'm getting the feedback. Yeah. All them dudes that's in the power position, right? All of the power players that have to put on this fight, they don't give a fuck about putting on exciting fights for the fans to watch. At the end of the day, it's a business to them. They're looking at this shit. They're going to make their investment back. And now we at a standstill, and you can hear it in the tone, in the delivery of Steven Espinoza. You can hear it. You know what I'm saying? And like I told y'all on Friday, it's crunch time. We already in August now. You got about another week or two at most to get this fight done because they have to, like I told y'all, they have to have the venue. You're competing with football. You compete with, at that time, right? When the fight gonna go, you're gonna be competing with football. You're gonna be competing with basketball. You're gonna be competing with the UFC probably. It's all type of shit. So they're gonna have to have the right date, the right venue, all of that. And they're gonna have to have all of the time to promote the fight. And now that is, you know, it ain't being announced yet, and they haven't come to no deal because they haven't come to no deal now. Yeah, they had a verbal agreement. Okay, cool. And then now he found out that more, you know, it's more money on the table. Well, shit, I want to get paid more. And I heard Bernie make a remark and saying like, well, everybody putting it on Terence Crawford. Who's to say that, you know, Errol Spence maybe he might be asking for more too. I don't know. But I've been knowing from the jump from Terence Crawford own people behind the scenes that he wanted more money. So it's a holdup. And so this is why when motherfuckers complain about me or Money Brown or Knockout or Coach or OT or whoever or 817 or, you know, oh man, why y'all worried about the money? It ain't that we worried about the money. It's that we talk about the money aspect because that in this fight and in big fights, that is the main reason that some of these fights don't happen because of the money. And a lot of times it don't have to do with the fighters. It's because of the networks. They're like, oh, we don't see how we're going to make if the fighters is asking for this amount of money because they know that how much they worth. Well, shit, we ain't going to put it on because we don't think we're going to make a big enough return. These, when you get big fights like this, these promoters are not in to play gamble. They're not in to gamble. They want to know, okay, we putting this Canelo and Plant fight on. We know what this shit is going to bring us. We know how much money this is going to bring us. And like I say, people always bringing up, man, they had such and such for Canelo because numbers, motherfuckers, numbers don't lie. They know how to go and look in the books and say, okay, we know that Canelo is going to bring this amount of money if we put Canelo on. So we could afford to pay him that and we could afford to pay Plant that. Yeah, we got that money because we know that we're going to get double that in return, especially with the foreign, with the international pay-per-view and the international money that they getting from Mexico and all of that. But y'all don't know nothing about the boxing business. So y'all like to, oh man, they had it for Canelo. Because if they knew that they would get double their return back or a huge return, we wouldn't have a problem putting on this fight. And both of them share the same fan base, like I keep telling y'all. So, I still want to be optimistic that this fight is going to happen this year. But I don't know. They ain't announced it yet. A fight of this magnitude, when they want to make their bread back and the fighters want to get paid, that shit got to be announced. We in August, September, October, November. We got 3 months. You gotta put the tickets on sale. You got to get the venue, all of that. Now you got to look at the football schedule, what's going on. You got to look at the basketball schedule, what's going on, because you don't want no other big events blocking the viewership of this fight. And you got Thanksgiving, the holiday, you got Christmas, you got people traveling. It's a whole lot of shit that you gotta, factor in. And they should have been done this so they could have had this fight in October. That's why they want to have this fight in October. Now we're pushing towards late November, December. And that's a problem. And you can hear it in Steven Espinosa's voice. But I'm gonna pass it to Knockout and let him cook on this.
Man, look, bro, like niggas want to do shit and believe shit when it's convenient for them. So when somebody like, and the only people that I heard that are Terence Crawford fans that don't listen to Bernie is OTB and Drink More Water. And the only ones I heard say, oh, he be full of shit. So we're not gonna be convenient with the shit and listen to him when he run around this bitch saying Terence Crawford is being lowballed. And then all of a sudden we don't listen to him when he say, basically coming out and asking why they can't get 50-50 and basically telling you that Bud is demanding more money. That's point number one. Point number two would be this shit, bro. Like at the end of the day, let's use common sense. You got one fighter that been dealing with the PBC his entire fucking career, bro. His whole career he been dealing with the PBC. The other fighter is trying to do business with them for the very first time in his career. Who you think the holdup is on? You don't think that PBC know what Earl want? Know what he asking for, know how to close the deal with him when they've been doing business with him his whole career. So that would be point number two. So at the end of the day, let's talk about Bud Crawford. Let's talk about Bud Crawford because that's who the holdup is on. Whether you believe that he getting lowballed or you believe that he asking for too much money, whatever it is that you believe is coming from his side. Now, let's talk about lowball. What would be a lowball, right? What number we throwing out? Because I would say, and people and his fanboys gonna get mad at me for saying this. If they offer that nigga highest guarantee is $6 million. If they offer him $6 million, $1 plus pay-per-view back in, it's the highest payday of his career. Point blank, period. And when you come into a situation, we got a problem in boxing where we look at all these B-side ass fighters and shit, where you'll look at Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis and then tell Showtime they need to do a joint pay-per-view. You look at Canelo Alvarez and Jamal Charlo and be like, yeah, Canelo, he ducking Jamal. He should go down to 160 to fight Jamal because that's where Jamal said he want to fight him at. You look at Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Well, Errol Spence not that much bigger than Bud. He ain't that much bigger than Bud Crawford. but the numbers don't say that shit. And we looking at a B side nigga and an A side nigga, and like, yeah, it's on the A side dude to make the fight. It's on the A side dude and his team to make the fight. When the B side dude is running around here carrying himself like an A side nigga, when in reality, bro, all your pay-per-views put together, all of them, every single pay-per-view you have ever done in your career doesn't add up to one of Errol Spence's. Not one. His pay-per-view with Mikey Garcia sold more than your entire pay-per-view combined, and we don't even want to approach what the gate numbers look like, bro. Straight up and down. This man has sold almost 1 million more pay-per-view units. 805,000 more people have bought his fights than bought your fights. So I don't even really understand what we're talking about. For people that want the fight, they looking at Terence, even his fans, the real ones, they looking at Terence Crawford like, say, bro, like, what we doing? You gonna beat his ass? You gonna beat his ass? Just beat his ass and then get your highest payday and then shit. Now he gotta come see you. That's what people that believe in him do. That's what they would tell him to do. But
knockout. When you cooking, read the if you can see, I put the super chat. Read the
yeah,
super
shout out
chat.
to K. I got you. Shout out to Caleb Drip Cook with the $5. I think that's a euro. I'm not sure. He said Earl need to put a deadline on this deal and fight a mandatory in November. Let Bud think because he acting like A side, but he has no house. And that's exactly what I'm saying, bro. Like at the end of the day, I ain't gonna be too long because I could do this shit for like 30 more minutes. All I'm saying is, bro, we got to get to where the challenger, the B side, the lesser guy, if he really want to make the fight, we got to be looking at him to make that shit happen. And when at the end of the day, I don't know what's being offered because I don't have no sources like the homie Key. I ain't talking to nobody on the inside, but I'm quite sure that he would get his highest payday with the offer that's currently on the table. And so when someone's offering you your highest payday ever and you a B side to somebody, and you had the opportunity to go for legacy and be the first ever 4-belt undisputed champion, that's a man, because Clarissa Shields already did that shit twice, but the first person to do it in 2 different weight classes as a man, bro, and you pass up on that shit, and the numbers clearly dictate that you ain't even worth what your ass is getting offered, bro. I'm not trying to hear shit, dog. I'm not trying to hear a motherfucking thing. To be real with y'all, like to be all the way real. So we'll see what happens, man. I still maintain my belief that the fight is done. But if it is a holdup and if it's not done, I need to know all the numbers. I want to know who was offered what the paperwork was looking like, the same way they did with Canelo and Caleb Plant. I want people coming out and letting me know what was offered to these fighters so we can see who it's on. If it's on Errol Spence and his side because he wanted a one-way rematch or he didn't want to have the fight on the neutral side, then he deserved to be cooked. But if it's on Bud Crawford, then he deserved to be cooked. Straight up and down, straight down the middle. And that's just what it is, bro. And that's really all I got, man. I just hope that the fight is made, and I believe it's made because Showtime wouldn't be posting Terence Crawford interviews. Derrick James wouldn't be coming back talking about we got to get one more belt and all that shit. So I'm going to maintain and hope that it's made. But if it's not made and it is a hold up with the business, then I'm looking at the guy that never did business with PBC or Showtime a day in his life, not the guy that been with him his whole career because they know what he's looking for and they know what he wants. That's all I got, bro.
Look at this clown in the chat, Dewey Jones. Look at that clown. Look, that clown ass shit, man. And a motherfucker can't borrow $10 from him and wait 7 days. He'll be outside your door in 3 days over $10, but go tell somebody what they need to do and lose some money. How many fights you done stole, Dewey Jones?
It's not even that. It's like okay, cool, bro. They net worth ain't got shit to do with what I was talking about. Like, see, that's that deflecting ass shit. They net worth, like, it don't matter who worth more money. When it comes to making a fight, who bring in more money? Like that they don't look at that like, oh shit, your net worth is higher. Let me go to the celebrity net worth website and see who's higher. Okay, his is higher. He deserves 50.
Net worth ain't how much money you got. That shit don't mean nothing.
Bro. Like niggas be
talking about that.
People be bugging, dog. Like real shit.
If he got that much bread, then make sure he got some motherfucking gas for that riverboat he bought.
I'm supposed to go next. I'm not gonna be long because I said this earlier on my live. I don't care who. I'm gonna ask y'all an example. How many of y'all caught a whipping with your cousin and you ain't had nothing to do with the shit that was going on in the room when your parents tell you, y'all cut that bullshit out, and they come in there and y'all fucking up, or your cousin's fucking up, or your brother, and they whoop everybody. That ever happening to y'all?
Yeah.
That's
That happened to y'all? And what they
You
tell
know
you,
it, coach. My bad.
and what they tell you, I don't care what happened. I'm gonna get the right one if I whoop all y'all ass. So I'm gonna tell y'all like this, just like I said earlier, and I'm gonna leave the shit alone. If I don't get Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, I'm gonna teach the suits a lesson too. I'm gonna teach them a lesson. If I don't get Errol Spence and Bud Crawford in the next fight, I don't care if Errol Spence fight boots in this. I don't give a fuck if Terence Crawford fight boots in this. I'm not paying for nothing else. That's all I got to say. I don't give a fuck whose fault it is. Because just like I said earlier, you're going to have people that's going to say, Bud did this, Bud did that. And you're going to have, they can't, Errol did this, Errol did that. I don't care. I'm going to make sure I get the right one. Y'all not getting my fucking money. Point blank, period. So the suits at Showtime and whoever else is involved in this shit, y'all not going to get my money. I don't give a fuck who Errol fight. I don't care who Terence Crawford. If they don't fight each other, I'm not fucking paying for this shit. Understand what I'm saying? If these two motherfuckers is not the fight and Errol fight somebody else and Bud fight somebody else, I'm not paying for it. Period. I don't give a fuck who it is. That's all I got.
Hey, look here. Let me get in real quick. I'm gonna get out the way because I know money don't want to cook.
A17. It's on OTB.
Go ahead, OTB.
Man, this fight gotta happen first of all. My bad. This fight gotta happen first of all. Second of all, I did see Stephen Espinoza also say talks were ongoing. They still talking. He optimistic that this fight still happen. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stay out the way when I ride with them comments. I ain't, I mean, too much thinking about much less.
Well, I think I mean I seen Earl, you know what I'm saying, his last post he say still walking down that road. I hear what Steven saying too. I mean you don't really have to guess or use innuendo or try to figure out who doing what. It's obvious what's going on. It's obvious that this was the play all along. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious that Bernie good with the smoke screens. You know what I'm saying? And in turn, he trying to turn his channel up, you know, by putting out the bullshit in the smoke screens. But Key right, if we don't get an announcement here soon, then you know what I'm saying? We know what time it is. But I mean, there's a part of me that believes, you know what I'm saying, this fight gonna happen, and then there's a part of me that believes this quote unquote puppet master shit is part of the plot. To attach yourself to some shit, you know what I'm saying? Always attach yourself to some shit and just ride out on what you're doing. So, you know, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I ain't gonna blame Showtime. I'm not finna blame a motherfucker and tell them to reach in their pocket and take a blind leap of faith on the motherfucker that ain't produced. You did? I mean, the numbers are the numbers. Each and every one of us can say what the fuck we want, what we want to see as fans and all this old bullshit. But if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And you can't tell me a motherfucker can't come to you and tell you they a hell of a hustler and they gonna bring you back, you know what I'm saying? Your shit and then some, and everybody in the hood know he ain't moving nothing. If he take the sack, he running off with it and fucking it off. So I mean, each and every one of us move like that. We treat our pockets like that. And why in the hell we expect for Showtime to treat their pockets any other way, and for Steven Espinoza to put his motherfucking job on the line? I mean, shit. Do you think Dazin was happy with Eddie Hearn losing all the motherfucking product and fucking off all the bag, and now letting other motherfuckers put on big fights? Steven looking at this, I don't move like that. I'm not finna move like that. And I wouldn't ask him to move like that. Somebody need to humble their motherfucking self. And it ain't Steven Espinoza and motherfucking Showtime. And I don't think it's Errol motherfucking Spence. I just don't. If Ndongo had to play his position, And all the rest of them motherfuckers had to play their position. It's just your turn. But maybe you don't want that same psychological shit that Danny and them going through. But I'm out the way.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. You say these smoky ass niggas out here, huh? Nigga, get the pack and don't come back. The thing
I'm
is,
telling
bro,
you.
it's like I just don't get this, fam. And I know for a fact, right? I ain't gonna say for a fact. When you say facts, niggas get to crying like little girls and shit. But we all sit up here and we see the situation that's going on. We all heard Steven Espinoza, what he's saying. Like it's common sense that who's holding up the fight, bro. Like, and I know it gets to a point to where it's like, oh yeah, we don't give a fuck. We just want the fight, make the fight, give him what he want, get his person what he want. It don't work like that. Like my man A17 said, it don't work like that, bro. Like when you dealing with businessman, bro, it's always gonna be about the numbers. If the numbers coming back, they don't give a fuck how good the fight is, right? They don't give a fuck. If the numbers ain't coming back to where you getting a return on your loan, ain't no motherfucker go do it. You can walk inside the bank, talk all that good ass shit to the bank. If the bank looking at the situation, they look like they can't get a return on it, you can have the best idea in the fucking world. But if it don't look like it's fitting their logic, then you ain't getting that fucking loan. And it's the same shit with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. This shit it's the business era of boxing, what a lot of people hate, right? A lot of people hate, oh man, back in the day, they just fought. No, the fuck they didn't just fight. Them motherfuckers got what they was deserving and they got their money worth, right? If you go look at the situation, the business was done. Whether they had knowledge of what was going on with the business, but they were satisfied with what they was getting. Everybody was satisfied with their dollar. Nowadays, it's more information. We're in the fucking era of information to where people seeing what's going on. You even heard some of these old fighters, God damn, if I was getting them type of numbers they getting now, you see it in basketball. If I was getting the type of numbers they getting now, like you heard that shit. So now it's just a different era, man. It's a different era, and we're looking at the situation where, like Knockout said, we see a man that's been doing this business forever with the same company since he been with him. The whole reason why his daddy told him to go sign with these people is because of the long haul, right? Why he fucking with Al Heyman? Because first of all, you betting on yourself. You're used to betting on yourself. You have confidence that it's going to come back how they say it's going to come back. We're looking at Bud Crawford. He used to some shit right up front. Give it to me now, and I'm going to spend my shit now or do what I want to do with my shit now. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. No, I don't want to invest. No, I don't want to believe in what's coming back in the next months to feed my kids down the stretch. You give it to me now, I'll put it up for my kids and they'll get it how I give it to them. You know what I mean? And that's what Bud and Bomac is used to, and that's what's going down. Bomac is over there conducting the business. We see what he said about Al Heyman. Fuck Al Heyman, this, that, and the third. So it's probably some shit going behind the wall. He probably ain't even talking to Al. He going through Steven Espinoza with shit back and forth on the contracts. So we all see what the situation is with two sides of each individual's of how they doing business. We all got some type of insight on how they do business. Whether you want to believe is your man or this man, that's why the fucking business ain't going through. But if we keep hearing the motherfucker with like Steven Espinoza, Eddie Hearn, Bob Earn, Oscar De La Hoya, all these promoters, when they talk about Bud Crawford, he need to be realistic with what numbers he talking about he want to fuck with him and this, that, and the third. And we sitting up here and we still at a stalemate that some people think we at, right? Because I feel like the fight gonna take place because of Earl, like in his last post, on the road to undisputed. He hashtagged that shit, right? Like A17 said, I pay attention to all that shit too. On the road to undisputed, like Derrick James and them say. So I think they doing everything they got to do to make the fight happen, but they not finna just bend over and just get, you know what I mean? No Vaseline for a motherfucker.
Money. No
Yeah.
disrespect, money. No disrespect, but I feel like we this entire panel being disrespected in the chat. You feel me? Look here, man. And Blue Blood touched on this too. All this sources. Motherfucker, this shit public knowledge.
Fact.
Public knowledge.
Yeah, man.
From the quote unquote sources that you respect. Half of us up here got connections to get most of this shit from horse's mouth. If not, the man right next to him.
Fact.
So why you questioning our credible sources? Even if the numbers we going off, which are public knowledge, are wrong, they still outweigh a motherfucker. So hang that shit up. And if the sources of the information and the conversation wasn't good, your motherfucking ass wouldn't be in here. Smash the motherfucking like button, sit back, stop hating, and get your game up. Make sense, stand on something.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, bro, like I said, fam, I feel like the fight gonna take place, but They not finna get no Vaseline by no motherfucker Terence Crawford, no Bo Mac, because they feel in a certain type of way because they feel like they hold the legs leverage to Errol Spence being undisputed. So they are. Without us, it ain't gonna be because people keep saying the same shit. Well, it's Errol Spence biggest payday as well, like his bud be okay. And if one man compromising, right? We see Errol Spence every time in front of the fucking camera, the fight go take place. I believe it's gonna happen this year. I don't want nothing but Terence Bud Crawford. This what I want. This what I want. He could be in front of the camera saying his shit, and Bud been in front of the camera before any of this shit right was realistic, talking about he want to fight this, that, and third, and all this. Now all of a sudden they just go quiet on every fucking situation, and we hearing Bernie talk, right? And I'm not gonna knock Bernie for saying what he's saying because he doing what the fuck we doing. He taking information from his people, and he going out there and he's talking about on what he can speak on and what he got. But at the end of the day, if Errol Spence speaking on this shit, then Turnbull Crawford come out and say something about the situation. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, fam, I feel like it's gonna take place. But PBC and Showtime, they look at the numbers, they put a projection out there, and they give your ass an offer. You know what I'm saying? Like we seen what happened with Fury and Wilder. That shit ain't no fluke. Over X amount of million motherfucking streams being taken, they take that shit into consideration, right? Yes, it could generate X amount of dollars, but if they're going to stream this percentage of the shit, that knocks it off. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But we're taking a chance on it. So if they give you your biggest guaranteed up front and you're getting 45% probably on the back end of it, man, you should have hit the go button and bring your ass on. But Bud and Bo Mac over there using these motherfucking negotiation tactics and trying to scheme every fucking penny that they can try to scheme, fam. And we know Bo Mac a scheming motherfucker for how he tried to play my brother Keith. That's a whole nother story. But they trying to scheme every fucking dime that they can scheme. And that's just the fact of the matter, man.
And to y'all credit, man, Stephen Espinoza just said that negotiations go and then they style out for a minute. They go, then they style out for a minute. And that's about what everybody's saying.
And we know they only negotiating with one motherfucker trying to get this contract signed, bro. Because one man telling you, sign the contract, big boy, sign the contract. So it's only one motherfucker that they negotiating with, that's trying to get the sign.
And no, Jamar, the whole panel don't pick Errol Spence to win this fight.
Sam, you just seen PBC finesse.
I'll be dog.
Yeah, let me say this. I probably do agree with what Keith's saying. Yes, other people probably coming to the table with money, right? Like we don't know, but you know, it's a big time situation that, you know, we know how motherfuckers do jump in at the last minute because they feel like, look, the stocks is up on this motherfucker. All right, so let me pinch in a 10 million and let me see what I can get back. So it's like the stock market still with the shit. You know what I'm saying? But even with that being added to the resume, if that's inside of it and you still getting an X amount of percentage on the back end when the numbers come, I think your percentage stays the same and you still get extra money. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, man, I feel in my soul, right? I could be wrong. Like I say, we don't know for 100% fact. But if we looking at this person say this person say that, and this person say that about a motherfucker, then somewhere down the line, it got to have some type of truth to it. But in how I feel, I just feel like it's Bo Mac trying to scheme every fucking dime that he can get out of the situation, bro.
Money. Two quick things. If it's more money brought to the pot by another company, what that mean? The return got to be bigger, right?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? If another company come in at the end of the money and say, at the end of this and say, man, it's so much demand for this motherfucker, I want to put in an extra 10 million too so I can get a return too. That motherfucker that came in at the last minute putting in that 10 million, he ain't trying to hear that he didn't get a return on his 10 million. You feel what I'm saying? He felt like it was hot enough. Bud wanted more money up front, or Earl want more money up front, whoever it is, right? And they take from that motherfucker still want a bigger return. And if they can't give that, they got too much money to pay out to try to pay them people off. So just like it is good that more money come in, it means that a bigger return's got to come back as well. And if the projections don't show that, then why in the hell would you bring somebody else on anyway? Some of y'all need to take a business class. Then number two, we just seen Sean Porter and the PBC and Al Heyman them finesse the hell out of Top Rank them for $4 million up front for that fool. When that nigga ain't never sold out nothing in order to command $4 million up front. How did they do that? How did they do that? Let's talk about it. Sean wanted to fight Bud, right? Okay. And you can see Bob from his situation saying that he never made money off of Bud. He wanted a name. He kept saying all these people was available, and for some reason, he couldn't get the fight done. We ain't never seen the WBO press Bud in the way that they pressed Bud after a year. And they tried to negotiate with Bob up front, and Al and them bet it on the bank, and it made sense. They knew Bob wasn't going to negotiate in good faith because Sean Porter was a threat, first of all. Right. And he thought he had other options for money with Josh Taylor and shit. That's why they offered him $1 million, which was right up Al and them alley. They were so happy that he offered them a funky $1 million because they knew they'd be able to go back and petition and say, man, this man ain't negotiating in good faith. He offered this professional man, been a champion before, $1 million goddamn dollars. Come on now.
Let me slap this kid upside the head and then somebody else can get it if y'all want it, bro. Jamal, we see you in the chat, and it's no disrespect to you because you ain't being disrespectful. When you come out here and you say money saying just listen to rumors, it's not fucking rumors, bro. Like I tell you, if Bob Erm came out and told you that he lost X amount of dollars on a man, he don't want nothing to do with him no more. He can walk. Bob Erm didn't even want nothing else to do with him. It was Bob Erm, Todd the Buff stepson, that said, let's keep him on board and see what we can get out of him. So Bob Erm didn't give 2 fucks about Bud because he knew he was losing money on the man anyway. So then when a man hit the free agency market, Eddie Hearn, would you go to Terence Crawford? No, it's not realistic. What he's asking for, we can't give to him. And plus the fight that he wants, we can't deliver the fight because he wants X amount of dollars. Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Well, there's only one fight to be made with him, right? And that's over there with him. So he might as well go on over there and do what he got to do over that way with them people, right? So if everybody coming out, all these top promoters that break their fucking necks to sign a fighter that you look at, Terence Crawford, #1 pound for pound fighter, right? Undefeated, one bad motherfucker with a skill set, but they looking at his ass and they don't see they get a return on the motherfucker, or the money ain't coming back how it should come back, and they not fucking with him. It got to be more than rumors now, right? You talking about rumors. It got to be more. If they don't even want to touch the motherfucker with a 10-foot pole, and the only person coming and saying he can save him and help him out is Floyd Money Mayweather, because the big fight is right here with PBC, and Floyd just want to put his hand in the cookie jar, right? Floyd know for a fact that I can work with this motherfucker and give me some money out of him with the Errol Spence fight. But after that, what could I do with him? We don't know what the fuck he can do with him. You understand what I'm saying? We don't know what fights he's going to go get made at this, that, and third. But he just know over on the PBC side, they got the welterweights, and at 54, they got the fighters over there. That's why you see him running his mouth about Errol Spence and motherfucking Jamel Charlo, because Floyd Mayweather got in his ear. You ain't see that man say not one. He ain't uttered fucking Jamel Charlo name before Mel became undisputed and before Floyd started getting this earth. It's an opportunity at 154. So he felt like, oh, we can make these 2 fights happen, and there can be some big money fights for you. But other than that, nobody else want to touch him and fuck with him. So that just says a lot right there, fam. But when I make this all the time, when you look at Tank and the Canelo hit the market, you see everybody and their mama try to get with him, even PBC. But ain't too many motherfuckers running after Bud Crawford because they're saying what he's asking for is unrealistic. Period, fam. And they look at the number game as well. It's business. These promoters don't give a fuck how good you is or how terrible you is, right? Adrian Broner might get some motherfucking investments before Terence Crawford, just because they feel like they can sell with his ass. So you're
not dumb enough. They're not dumb enough to finesse Top Rank out of $4 million for their fighter on the way out, and then turn around and lose money after waiting for Bud to become a free agent so they could pay him according to the market rate.
Y'all quit saying that they didn't promote.
But they shot him out guaranteed money.
When Bud went over there and re-signed with the motherfuckers himself. Now don't cry about one man believing in themselves and going over to fuck with Al Heyman and believing in themselves and taking a chance on themselves. Then y'all want to cry, oh, they didn't promote Bud. Bud didn't fucking promote Bud, man. Cut it the fuck out. You see, Bob Erm say he had shit set up for Bud Crawford where Bud didn't even show up to the fucking the little place where he's supposed to be to help promote his fucking self. But why do y'all think a fucking 90-year-old man can fly all around the world and promote a motherfucker? That old motherfucker can't do all that shit no more, man. You have to put yourself out there and promote your goddamn self. What the man do when Ellie Setback was right there trying to ask questions? Then he just keep walking on the man. Whether you like him or not, you got to put your personal feelings aside when it comes to business, man. And
it's a social media era. How hard is it to promote yourself?
Was to sit your ass right there and give Eddie Setback a few fucking words, even if you didn't want to do the shit. But you walking through a fucking hotel or wherever the fuck y'all was at. How hard is it to open your motherfucking mouth up and say, oh, well, Ellie, I don't fuck with you for real, but I'm gonna talk to you, right? So cut it the fuck out. He didn't promote his motherfucking self.
Hey, I'm gonna
I
say
got
this.
all the excuses in the world, man. All the fucking excuses in the world why he's not a
Yeah,
big
Bud ain't never been marketable, and he don't have to be for this fight to happen.
But I'm gonna say this. This is what I'm gonna say. Regardless of it being Bud, like I said before, or Errol. I don't know the situation because I'm not in there, and Jamal, I'm not fucking speculating. But the fans, this is what I'm saying to the fans. I don't care because the suits need to be shown by the fans. I'm not blaming Errol. I'm not blaming Bud. I could give a fuck less. But the suits need to be shown.
And Loma got a title fight.
You understand? And the only way the suits can be shown is if they don't put this fucking fight on. Errol's fight not gonna fucking make money, or Bud's next fight don't make money because of the fact that y'all didn't give us what the fuck we want. That's my point. I can care less. They need to get the shit done and announce this fucking fight. Now, I understand business. Don't get me wrong. I understand business. But at some point, the fans got to get what they want. And if we don't get what we want, we got to show them. Motherfucker, we wanted this, and y'all didn't give us this, so fuck y'all. Because
this fight gonna take place, Errol Spence gonna continue to sell how he's selling, and it's gonna be on Bud Crawford.
Yeah, he gonna consider himself on y'all. I'm not doing it. And his next fight, I'm not paying for it. I promise you.
Man, both of them
what y'all
need
gotta
for this
say?
fight to happen.
Well,
Don't
let me
think
ask
they
you this.
don't.
What y'all got to say about Bernie saying that Bud got his own people, that his own investors in the fight, putting up money for him on his side?
Well, if that's
What if the fight should happen?
I mean, I don't doubt that, but that mean that this fight better goddamn happen.
Well,
Shit, ain't no excuses then.
I'm gonna keep that to myself. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm
gonna
gonna say this
go,
though.
Kyle, because it's on you, Kyle.
I'm gonna say this though.
I won't deny that because, like I said, we know Warren Buffett fuck with Bud heavy. So Warren Buffett did come to the table and wanted to put some in on the situation. You feel me? But you know, we have to see it. If that's the case,
it ain't Warren Buffett. I'm gonna drop a video. I know who it is, but I'm gonna drop a video on that.
Yeah, that's all.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. My condolences to everybody on the panel that think they finna get this fight this year because it ain't happening.
Man, you the same nigga that told us it was gonna happen, bro.
Huh?
You the same nigga that told us the fight was gonna happen.
Yeah, but then nigga, now I switched it up fast.
That means
when I'm wrong,
let him cook, money. Let him cook.
Listen, when I'm wrong, I tell you I'm wrong. Listen, if I'm wrong, I tell you I'm wrong. Because at the end of the day, if it was gonna happen in October, they would have been set up some shit for us to know about it. They would have had a big ass press conference already because this is the biggest fight in boxing. They'd have been set up some shit for us to know what's going on. We'd have got a newsletter. We'd have got some shit saying that get ready or some shit like that. They're not gonna just out of nowhere say, all right, the fight is happening. No, it's too much money involved. And this is what I'm saying. Once I figured out the inside shit, that's when I kind of was like, all right. Because I got some information from somebody, but then I got some more information that led me to know, like, oh, this shit ain't finna happen like that. And this is the thing about it. I know both sides, but I know one side a little more than the other side as far as like the business side and shit like that. But I'm saying once I knew that shit ain't gonna happen, man, because at the end of the day, he ain't Devin Haney. He not gonna take that less money, go to Australia to prove to us some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because in his mind, he already proved that shit to us. So now, this is he gonna have 2 more fights or 3 more fights, and it's over for him. So now he's trying to cash in. And the way Steven Espinoza is talking, it don't seem like they ready for him to cash in on them. So that's what I'm saying. This year, it ain't gonna happen this year. It's August.
Well, they created this monster. Everybody, all you motherfuckers out there who say you want to see the fight, but you feel like PBC and Earl and them not giving enough. Guess what? Y'all the reason why the fight ain't going down, and I'm gonna tell you why. You motherfuckers ain't paying for fights. You wasn't buying merch. You was stealing the shit, streaming the shit, and you constantly telling this motherfucker he the baddest motherfucker on earth when he wasn't fighting nobody. You wasn't giving a damn that he wasn't fighting nobody of note. You was just rah-rahing his motherfucking ass, but not supporting him with your pocket. Now, when it come time for him to fight some goddamn body, you talking about giving the money, but you ain't put in on the motherfucker your back.
I'm gonna say it like I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
I'm with
this.
you,
And you done blew the nigga head up to believe he done already proved some shit. And you done already blew his head up to prove like he done did some big time shit. So now you got to deal with it. It's just like a badass kid. If you don't whoop their ass and you let them run wild, you got to deal with them.
817, let me say this real quick, man, because I've been saying this. And I've been saying this shit for the longest time, and everybody know I've been saying this. So I'm not going to blame it on all on Terence Crawford fans. I'm going to blame it all on you niggas, right? Because y'all, they shared the same fan base. And I have niggas come in here all the time on here, when I was on Facebook, everywhere, bragging about, oh, I streamed the fight. So this goes for all y'all that claim that Errol Spence is your favorite fighter, but when he fight, you stream the motherfucking fight, right? And you don't show up to it. When Terence Crawford fight, you claim that he your favorite fighter. When he fight, you streaming it, right? This goes for y'all. It ain't all on Terence Crawford fans. It goes for the fan base all around. You right. And it's a lot of y'all that brag about that shit all the time, right? And I told y'all, I said, you keep doing that shit and keep bragging about it. When Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, when the fight get realistic and the shit come around and it's not able to be made, blame yourself and don't cry about the shit. Blame yourself and don't cry about the shit. So that goes for boxing fans in general. And like I've been saying, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, they share the same fan base. So if you put Errol Spence's buys with Terence Crawford, you got, let's say at the most, 450,000 pay-per-view buys.
Right.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? When you do the numbers. Now you same motherfuckers that was bragging, you're crying about, oh man, this fight ain't been announced. I'm ready, I want to see the fight. Yeah, you want to see it, but you're going to stream it anyway.
Right, Key.
Because if everybody pays for it, it do a meal, and everybody know that. And see, we all know that, right? We all sit and confidently say, if them niggas fight, bro, this motherfucker do 700, 800,000. I think it'll do 1 million pay-per-view buys. And you probably right. But since the motherfucker ain't bought it before, they don't believe in it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this, bro. I'm willing,
how can you prove to me that you're going to buy something, right, and you ain't never did it before?
Facts.
I'm willing to bet anybody, Key, that this fight get made this year.
Man, that fight happening.
So to the niggas saying that it ain't gonna happen, whoever on the panel,
I wouldn't be willing to bet anything.
I'm willing to bet. That's true. I'm willing to bet.
I think it's gonna happen too, money. I'm like you.
And Steven just said, man, his words. I'm
optimistic
this fight happen.
I'm a fan.
They still negotiating. What say, man, if it die, he gonna bring it back to life.
Oh, well, it's fucked up. We had to stand still. I don't know.
Man, he said if the negotiations die, he bringing it back to life.
I'm a firm believer in Errol Spence, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Give me the date.
I'm a firm believer in Errol Spence. I'm willing to
Errol
bet.
Spence can't speak for Terence Crawford. Hey, not trying to know. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm a firm believer in Errol Spence that I'm willing to bet anybody on the panel that the fight happened this year. That's all I'm gonna say.
This is what
what's the date?
And regardless of the contract, if I ain't got no damn reason.
2022. We got August, September, October, November, December. We got this year.
We don't have August, September, October. We got December. We got November and December. That's it.
I got like 25.
Man, that fight happening,
I got
man. These fighters ain't quit working yet. Every time we see them, they working.
Stop coming in here talking about Canelo, comparing him to Terence Crawford and these other fighters. You have foreign money coming for Canelo. Stop talking about, oh man, why even stop Canelo? Canelo, man, he a whole different tax bracket.
He shown a return on investment. He consistently shows a return on investment. And then you also have to think, how many sponsors, look, watch this. How many sponsors have you seen across the ring with in top rank events with Bud Crawford, different sponsors and shit? Right? But when you see Canelo, you got Tecate and all kinds of motherfuckers. Them other people bringing money to the table. You know why? Because they know they gonna get a return on motherfucking investment. And guess who else the motherfucking advertisers paying? They just ain't paying the fighter. They paying the network too. So the network be willing to get in bed and put up a little more money because they know they're getting what? A ROI, a return on investment. Again, take a business class.
But not only that, this is the whole thing. We could have got
in the room now.
But just like in the old times, they fucking was making money off these fights on regular fucking TV because of commercial advertising. You understand? But they got away from that because promoters and networks wanted to be greedy. When back in the day when Sugar, I watched that shit on regular TV when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Martin Hatton.
But Coach, one thing you got to think about, right? We live in an information age, right? We live in an information age. Motherfuckers want to see what's going on when the bell rang. You feel what I'm saying? And what's going on in the corner or whatnot. And you can't put the rabbit back in the hat. You know what I'm saying? We got exposure. That's why we know what we know in regards to these fights and able to sit up here and talk about these things.
Yeah, but
the
information.
The casual fan don't know shit.
Yeah,
if we want to reach the casual fan, we gotta put that shit in the everyday household.
But 817, my thing is this: do you want the fucking fight? That's my point.
OTB, what I'm trying to tell you this, I agree with it. I agree with some boxing needs to go back on free TV.
The return on investment for the long sake of the sport can be crazy if you put it on regular TV.
OTB. When you say regular TV, right? When you say regular TV, I know you mean the power networks or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But TV is dying, and we are in the information age. We are in the information age. So I believe some boxing might need to go back to regular TV, but the low level boxing, if it goes back to regular TV, nobody watches it. High level boxing, if it goes back to regular TV, we want more access. Those guys can't be themselves on regular motherfucking telecast. We seen Adrian Broner try to fight on regular fucking TV. He couldn't be himself, and the product wasn't good against Sean Porter. Anybody that watched that fight know that whole telecast was bullshit, and they couldn't really be them fucking selves. Network TV and the mainstream ain't ready for boxing on that level. They ain't ready to have Tyson Fury cussing all across TV and shit. They ain't ready for that shit.
Check this out.
Every other sport do it.
Hold on. Check this out. Check this out, 817.
You can't say nigga, bitch.
This a whole new fucking strategy now. Think about this. What did Showtime fucking put just for the fight? Just put commercials on.
Nobody wants to see commercials, Coach. That's why they put them in during the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the only time that people want to see fucking commercials. Nobody wants to see commercials during the motherfucking fight. Motherfuckers want to see what the corner man saying and shit.
Hold on. So you're not gonna watch the fight. If the fight get paid by fucking advertisement, right?
Man, you gonna be mad to see them commercials
because you don't get to see the in between the fucking rounds. You get to see when you live at a fight. You ain't fucking listening to that shit.
Not for no fight of this magnitude.
Well, you gotta think about it. We can replays of the last shots. We can the corners, what they saying and shit like that. People, like when the fight going on ESPN, them damn commercials come on, man. You get why the fuck all these commercials keep coming on? You get irritated.
But guess what? It's paying for the shit we want to see. That's what y'all.
But ain't nobody watching them.
Well, everybody's streaming. Nigga, pick one.
Listen, they watching UFC. You know why they watching UFC? You know why they watching UFC? Because they ain't doing that bullshit.
But they fans have more access to the sport.
And they fighting the best that's fighting the fucking best all the time.
But they not doing them like that though. The way that you talking about they need to do boxing, they not doing them like that. They giving them their own platform and they not interrupting it with shit. The way that Showtime does it works. They got the best numbers. Tell me they don't.
I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to tell you,
I ain't saying it don't work.
You got motherfuckers that's complaining right now that we not getting a fucking fight because of money issues and all of this shit. Either we get to see the fight that way.
No, we're not getting the fight because one motherfucker does not match up to the return. He wants more than what he's proven he can return. At least we know that solidly from the numbers that we have.
Listen, fuck the money, right? Coach, he had a great fucking point. Let me say this. Let's say this.
The money.
What's the biggest thing? The biggest thing in America as far as sports is the Super Bowl, right? That's on free TV. Ain't nobody paying for shit.
That's the Super Bowl, bro. That's known though. People watch the Super Bowl.
Nigga.
I'm saying for the longevity of the sport.
You can't take the sport.
Hold on, OTB. This, 817. This fight ain't fucking bigger than the Super Bowl, though, bro. That's the thing. How many motherfuckers watching the Super Bowl, fam? How many? So
this when is the reason boxing started dying,
viewers you gonna bring?
It's not bigger than the Super Bowl, though, bro. That's the thing.
And Super Bowl has proven a return on investment.
Let me make my point. Y'all can go wherever y'all want to go. But let me make my point first, though. All right? Because this is the thing about it. Is that y'all know 100,000 casual fans that's asking about the fight. We know 100,000 streamers that want to stream the fight, right? If you look at the Deontay Wilder fight versus Tyson Fury, and y'all look at how many illegal streams took place. If you take them illegal streams and you put that on regular TV,
why would
people are going to buy advertisement for the commercials? They're gonna do that off top. If you think about that, think about how many illegal streams. Now, if I don't have to illegally stream shit, I can look at it. You can stream it on any device. You can look at it on your phone. You can do it on your TV. You can watch cable. All these different devices. So he got a great fucking point. If you put it on TV,
how does the advertiser get a return on their investment? You did. You made your point. You made your point. But how does the advertiser?
Let him talk.
Go ahead.
Let him finish.
Goddamn, listen. You the king of cut niggas off.
Go ahead, bro. Make your point. Make your point. Go ahead.
Do I cut you off when you making your point? Hell no. Let me finish.
Oh, you going to focus on me interrupting you, or you gonna make the point? Because you already did it. But go ahead.
You've been interrupting niggas all day, though.
Man, goddamn. Come on.
So at the end of the day, if you take all these illegal streams, you put them with the same people that's buying the fight, and you merge them together, and you take that to the network, and you say, hey, listen, let's put this on CBS. CBS, that'll be the biggest thing CBS could do at a certain time of the day. Ain't nobody watching Saturday night CBS. You put Errol Spence and Terence Crawford on CBS, dog, the whole world stops for a minute. If ain't no basketball on, if ain't no football on, and they should have did it during baseball season, and everybody would have been watching.
Okay, Kyle. Okay, Kyle.
That's why the pandemic was so big. That's why boxing was so big in the pandemic, because there wasn't nothing else on but boxing, and that's kind of how boxing got the resurgence, because you put it on when nothing else is on.
Kyle, how does the advertiser, let's say Burger King or anybody else like that, when they do put the money in on the Super Bowl, how do they see a return on the money that they put up for that 90 seconds?
They don't get a return. That's not what advertising.
Coach, I didn't ask you. I asked Kyle. How does a Burger King get a return on the investment when they put up the money to the networks to get a 90-second commercial spot?
There's two things you can do, big dog. One of those things is
I didn't ask you what they can do. I said, what do they do? How do they get the listen? Because you're not answering it correctly. Hold on, and I don't think you understand the question. Let me place it one more time. How does the advertiser? Kyle, how does the advertiser get a return on the investment for the money that they put up for those commercial spots during the Super Bowl?
Because people are going to see the advertisement and go buy the damn chicken sandwich.
Okay. So what I'm saying, listen. What I'm saying to you is this. When we watch pay-per-view boxing, when the bell goes ding. There are no fucking advertisements. There are shots and clips from the fight, the previous round, because many of us want to go back and forth about who the fuck won the round. Not only that, we want to see what adjustments are being made in the corner. Now, if you take that shit and go put it on regular TV and move it for commercial spots, niggas will spend more time arguing about whatever the fuck happened in the fight than that fucking commercial. No one is watching it, and you can't take the cat and put it back in the bag. It's been done. You cannot take the model and try to mold it back to some other shit and think people are going to follow it.
That's why
there is no return. The problem with this is the people see that there is a return on the investment with the Super Bowl. That's why advertisers clamor for those spots and pay large amounts of money. So again, any advertiser, network, anybody that wants to put in money on this fucking fight wants history of return on investment. The Super Bowl and this fight is not comparable because the return on investment and the history of such does not match up. And we are in a different age. They are in different platforms. Apples to apples, oranges to oranges. The shit don't make sense.
Let me ask you this.
Don't make sense.
You're going to have to make it make sense.
If you take all the illegal streams,
we're going to have to.
Nigga, if you take all the illegal streams, and you take
the streams don't give a return to the advertisers.
Nigga,
the return those streams don't mean shit to the advertisers.
Streams is what he's
the streams don't make people go in for burgers. If they don't watch the fucking advertisement during the fucking, if they don't watch the advertisement, there's no money being made, Kyle. Goddamn! Fuck the stream. Just because eyes are there, don't mean that they following the advertiser. Fool.
817.
Niggas get up and go to the bathroom during the Super Bowl.
It doesn't matter. 817. The point is this. This is the point. Right now, we're not getting these fucking fights that we want to see. Right now, because of you're right. Times have changed, but right now we're not getting the fights we want to see because of the fucking streaming, right? So if you put it back on, listen, the main thing is when the fucking bell go ding ding, we get the fucking fights we want. And it's not a return on investment as far as when you buy advertisement, you're going to immediately just get a return on investment because of the fight happening. No, it happens over time when people start patronizing your business. So it's paying for a primetime spot. You get a fight that everybody wants to see.
When you work for somebody, you look at shit different. When you own your own shit, it's about dollars and cents and motherfucking a history of a return on investment. Fuck what y'all talking about. And that's why we ain't getting a fight.
Right now, if you go to regular TV, they got fucking commercials, bro. They got commercials.
Because I'm gonna drop something on him though.
Y'all watch regular TV so much, y'all in this bitch.
Hold on, because listen. I've had my logo on boxing shorts before, right? You got the eyes on you, so basically I could clip something and say, "Oh shit, look, man, my shit is on ESPN." I can say that. I can say, "Hey, look, my shit on ESPN." That can build a whole nother relationship with somebody else because they saw my shit on ESPN. If I say, "You seen that fight?" Oh yeah. Oh, that shit look familiar. Oh yeah, my shit was on ESPN. So,
but your shit ain't hot though.
Hold on, brother, please. And it's a tax write-off. At the end of the year, you can get that back. You can recoup. If you made a loss, you can say, "Oh man, I took a loss on that advertisement." You can get that money back.
Hey.
If your shit was hot though, you really to your motherfucking return. Just because you got your shit on TV don't mean nothing if it ain't hot, nigga.
Man, let me read this super chat real quick. My man Zimmer 360 in the building. He say the peak point when people watch the fight is once the fighters are in the ring. Then there's 1 minute in between rounds, so the time for ads and when people tune out and view drops. Not worth the money for the businesses. That's why boxing don't have,
Facts,
you
Andy.
know, sponsorship, you know, commercials like that and ads and all of that shit.
Thank
Now,
man,
one thing
thank
I do
you.
want to say,
ESPN
before-
do though.
hold
ESPN
on.
got hella ads.
Let
during the
Keith
fight.
go,
Hold
bro.
on.
Let
One
Keith
thing
go.
I do want to say is at the end of the day, we got to remember Bomac, he was bragging about screaming Errol Spence's fights. Now, how that shit came full circle on this motherfucking ass. Continue.
Right.
And coach, how many times y'all been in KQKC shit and he calling the motherfucking fight and he bitching about the commercials? How many times?
And that's what I was gonna say. Listen, this is the thing too, bro. When you talk about the commercials and shit like that, bro, if the commercial was so much of an accent, right? If it was pulling that X amount of dollars in, it was gonna do this and do that. Not saying that free TV don't help with the publicity of the sport and things of that nature, because PBC will never went over to regular television if it didn't. But when you look at the fights of this magnitude, fam, it must not, because if that's the case, they would have been doing that shit and put it on there in this business era, bro. So the pay-per-view numbers, all that shit plays a part. And like A1 saying, when the investors put their money out there, they not sitting back waiting on no fucking ratings, bro, because that's what it's all about. It's about the ratings. They not sitting back waiting on no ratings and how the money come in, because we all know when you get the back end money and the ratings, with the ratings, that shit add all the way up to where it take months and months and months, even years, for you to get paid. That's why certain fighters, they get checks in the mail each month. That's why Floyd's still getting motherfucking checks in the mail from certain fights. Investors not waiting and doing that shit. If that's the case, they can go do something else. They want they lump sum back how they putting it in. You feel me? When this shit over with and the money come in, maybe after a month, everybody get that big ass lump sum. They want that lump sum. They not waiting for years down the line to get no fucking return on no shit. So no, that shit ain't gonna work on when you talk about these big fights and going on pay-per-view. That's why the pay-per-view shit even came up in the first place, man. So with putting in commercials and putting this shit on regular television, negative. That's not gonna happen in this day and age. It's not happening. So y'all,
that's the same shit that Bud ain't signing over. The same shit they want the network to do is the same shit Bud ain't signing over.
People buy that they don't even want to fucking buy, which is why we got a problem with the shit with the best not fighting the best in the first place.
OTB, when you seen a good fight? When you seen a good fight on Fox, nigga? When you really seen PBC?
I can name it. I can name it.
I'm saying consistently. When have you seen Showtime? I mean, or PBC put on good fights on regular TV?
I'm gonna tell you
when. That's the only way we gonna get any other
lie.
casual fans.
They don't put on good cards on Fox.
Errol
Them
Spence
cards don't
record.
be good.
You gonna get a casual fan.
Spence broke records after the basketball he broke fucking records.
And I seen Jamal
bro, the card. Listen, coach. I said the fucking card, coach. I said, how many good cards have you seen on free TV?
A17 asked him though, coach. You say he broke the record though, but how much money did it translate?
The Adrian Broner card had.
He had over 3 million fucking views. He had over 3 million fucking views.
How much money did it translate to? Is the question, coach? Because it didn't pay him
more. Not in the fucking in their pocket.
We can say it broke records. We know it didn't pay him more than pay-per-view.
Otherwise, man, just stay behind football, basketball, baseball.
And money. That's a great point, because if it did, with him being, look, with him coming on right after the Olympics, all of that shit, right? If it made so much motherfucking money, they would have continued to do it. They ain't no goddamn fools. They're not gonna go away from making money.
He made over 3 million.
The hell you mean? They did it for eyes to get to the money with pay-per-view. They did it for eyes to get to the money for pay-per-fucking view.
But this is what you don't understand. The promoters, hold on. The promoters and the fucking networks, the ones who got to take less, because Errol Spence, it was over 3 million.
The promoters and the
networks. What you gonna tell them to put on less and they put on the fight?
Let me finish. 817. Errol Spence's contract was negotiated already, right? His contract was negotiated already, so he gonna get what he get. But somebody made some fucking money off of them 3 million motherfucking views.
I'm not saying they didn't make nothing, coach. I'm saying it didn't touch that motherfucking pay-per-view.
Well, it made Errol Spence a star, obviously, which is why we need to put more fights on regular TV.
The eyes made him a star
on TV. What would you imagine it's gonna do for that undercard? for the fighters. If
This
we
is
look at the start
prize
that Errol
fighting.
Spence is now,
This is prize fighting. Earl's father told him to go with Al for the long run. This is prize fighting. Why? Because he had a plan. The plan was
but
to
you
put
just
him in
had a
front of
conversation
the
about
plan.
a return on the investment. The longevity
The
of the
plan
return on
was
the
to put
investment
him in
is
front
definitely
of
better
eyes,
than
then
robbing people for pay-per-views
capitalize
right now.
on pay-per-view. He was willing to take less for a bigger fucking
having people
return.
rob
Your
you.
boy Bud, he didn't believe in it. He didn't believe in it, and he didn't have access to eyes, so he took the most money up fucking front, and now he's suffering for it. It's fucking obvious. If you own any fucking thing, you understand what the fuck is going on.
That you putting it in
An
every
employee,
household.
then you feel like you should just get the fucking fight.
With the
You don't
biggest
even
fight in
hold that nigga
boxing.
accountable, and you want to hold Tank and everybody else accountable. You said that fake ass shit earlier, talking about Angel Garcia and holding them accountable. Hold that fat ass accountable. You ain't hold him accountable when goddamn his fighters got his ass whooped. You ain't hold him accountable when Mo got his ass whooped. You ain't hold him accountable when Herring got his ass whooped. Shut the fuck up talking about Danny Garcia too. Fuck you mean?
Hey,
hold Bud accountable, nigga.
First of all, wasn't none of
Talk
them
about
no
what a nigga
champion
need to
without
prove.
Bomac. Period. Ain't none of them walking there without no straps until he was a trainer. Talk the facts.
They walked
now.
out of there
Don't get to
without him
talking
too,
that
nigga, and the
reckless
next
shit. You
nigga
got the
going
right
to
one.
too, nigga.
You got the right one.
I know I got the right one. I've been waiting.
So what exactly. So make it make sense.
Talking about holding
So
Angel Garcia accountable. Hold that fat ass nigga accountable for them losses. For them L's. Hold him accountable. Hold him accountable for running your nigga out from the man fight while he's trying to prove that he's somebody. Nigga, don't talk about holding nobody accountable. BF gonna cook your ass because you don't hold a nigga accountable. Nigga.
Take his nuts. I'm gonna throw your body off the river right after
he gonna cook your ass, nigga.
Right after his. This your king? This your king? You talking like that's your king?
You lucky it ain't me. You lucky it ain't me.
Dive in
you
the
better
river
take
and go
that light
get
work, and he gonna body you.
Ain't gonna be no herbs in this one. Ain't
gonna Ohio
be no
don't
herbs
run shit but they mouth.
You know what's gonna be the problem? I'm gonna tell you right now. 817 gonna lose on fucking default because that motherfucker can't let nobody else talk. I know that.
You ain't let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this.
And now y'all who pick him BF before y'all know the topic, take his nuts out.
Let me say this. This is exactly why we need this fight to happen. Y'all see how fans act over this motherfucking fight. If we get more aggressive every week that we don't have the fight announcement. Like I said, man, I don't know. I'm not feeling
it. You just see Danny beat the shit out of Benavidez. But your boy went tooth and nail with that nigga with a better leg, with a worse leg.
Damn, hold on, shit.
God
damn, nigga. Shit. Can I talk on my own motherfucking show?
Hell no.
I think hell no.
God damn, 817. You worse than money. Shit. Damn. I'm trying to wrap the motherfucking show up. God damn, man. With that being said, let's wrap this shit up. I'm gonna go around the motherfucking panel. 817, get your last word. Let me get your last words. Then we're gonna go to Kyle and we're gonna go around the panel. God damn.
I ain't did nothing more than what you niggas do when y'all feel passionate about something. Fuck all you niggas. Fuck all you in your motherfucking ass. Just like I said. Danny Garcia, like I just said, Danny Garcia just beat Benavidez with a better motherfucking leg, nigga. And that nigga went tooth and nail with a motherfucker with one goddamn leg. And you talking about holding Angel Garcia accountable. Shut the fuck up. 817, I'm out this bitch.
God damn. And you know what? Ohio Runs Boxing, earlier, I missed your super chat. I know you had a super chat in here earlier. My bad, Ohio. But salute to Ohio Runs Boxing. And make sure that y'all go follow Ohio Runs Boxing on Instagram. And let me see if I missed anything else. I missed Sid Zappy. See, that's what happened when you niggas don't want to shut the fuck up. God damn. Money Man Green, he says Sid Zappy say Money Man's green print and they not going to pay two black fighters to make history. Check the most highest gross fight and it will reveal itself. And salute. to Sid. Salute. And anybody else? Let me see if I didn't miss anybody else. I don't know if I read this one. Zenith says the peak point when people watch the fight is once the fighters are in the ring. He says then there's one in between rounds, so the time for ads is when people tune out and view drops, not worth the money for the biz. And I think I had read that one.
They split the screen like ESPN do. They split the screen.
If I miss anybody, my bad. Y'all see what's going on over here. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. I think it's on you, Kyle. Let me get your last words and let everybody know what you got going on.
Well, you got one more, kid. You got one more, kid. His name's Sean Clark. He says Spence bring more belts, more fans, better knockouts. A-side shouldn't be a debate at all. I agree that the offer is likely Bud's biggest payday. And then Ohio Run Boxing just got you a $2 super sticker, so he ain't say shit. So
okay. And once Sid was back in the building. He said, by the way, salute to the channel and great commentary. Appreciate you, man, coming through, showing love to the channel. And let me see. I'm trying to find that super chat that you read, Money. So I can post it on the thing.
Yes, it was right up there, right above.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It's okay. Yeah. Here it is, right here. He says Spence brings more belts, more fans, better KO percentage, and A-side shouldn't be a debate at all. I agree that offer is likely Bud's biggest payday. Oh, it's for sure Bud's biggest payday, for sure. But at the end of the day, you know, like I told Money he's very optimistic that the fight is gonna happen. But because he said he believed in Errol Spence, but at the end of the day, Errol Spence don't have nothing to do with what Terence Crawford decide. You know, Errol Spence don't have nothing to do with what Terence Crawford decide. Just like when Terence Crawford put that clause in his contract, you know what I'm saying? Like Bob Arum was gonna get the Errol Spence fight done for him. Shit, Bob Arum don't have nothing to do with what was going on over there on the PBC. And so, you know, we'll see, man. They gotta, if this fight gonna happen, it gotta come quick. Like within the next few weeks, we gotta get an announcement. If not, it's too far out, and we into next year. But Kyle, let me get your last words and let everybody know what you got going on.
Man, listen, man, y'all can head over to the boxing section, man. I'm going in for the next 3 months. I got Amari Jones coming in in a couple minutes. I'm probably gonna try to do it. I'll probably do it like at 5 my time, and then I'll probably do it right now. I don't know, I gotta make the link of shit, but y'all can head over to the boxing section, man. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon, man. We grinding right now. We in grind mode. And I want to apologize to everybody on the panel for not being able to talk over 817's ass. He's an habitual cutter bro. You know what I mean? But man, still to everybody on the panel. Keith, man, I appreciate you for sending a link to me, man. I appreciate you, man. And at the end of the day, fuck Keith Thurman.
Yeah. We're gonna cook on Keith Thurman on Money Brown TV tonight. Yes, sir.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, sir. We're gonna be on Money Brown TV cooking on the situation with Keith Thurman. Yes, Lord. Yeah. Appreciate you, Boxing Section TBS. Make sure that y'all go sub to the Boxing Section TBS in OTB. Let me get your last. No, that's Money. It's on Money Brown. Let me get your last words and let everybody know what you got going on.
Yeah, appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love, man. Everybody that was on the panel, everybody, y'all heard it right here. Man, Cal got $2,500 bet that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford.
You said 2,500.
He tried to throw that shit in there real slick. Hey, John Kramer, man, did you bet me 100 that Jose Benavidez would win? Come on, man.
Yeah, man, I feel like the fight gonna take place. Like I say, man, I just believe in Errol Spence. You know, I think Errol Spence won't undisputed, and just me. What Errol Spence want, Errol Spence get. So I don't think he gonna let Terence Crawford skippity do his ass away from that table without signing their contract, man. You know, but you know, much love to everybody that was up on the panel. Shouts out to my bro 817. Y'all make sure y'all come and you know, kick it with me tonight. We'll go live at I like to say 8, but I usually start at 9, man. So I'm gonna try at 8, but we might get geared up at 9 o'clock. So y'all come through, show love, Y'all go subscribe to my brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Knockout doing a couple debates over there. Me and Drico, we did one, so you know they got a few more.
I got one coming up on Knockout Boxing 86 TV too.
Oh shit, Key, you accepted it? I don't know who it is. I can't tell you though.
I know
who it is. I got to call Knockout, but you know I don't turn down no smoke.
Right, so Knockout doing his little thing over there. You know he got a nice little format that he got going.
Man, we gonna let it be known then. I'm gonna drop it, man. That's Southern Tea.
Oh, okay, shit. That's easy work.
So y'all show love, man. But you know we gonna keep pushing this boxing shit for y'all forward. Y'all keep support, and it's all love, man. Shouts out to everybody in the chat too that came through. You know, rocking out. Even the motherfucker that was being, you know, on the other side. So you know, it's all love, man. And if y'all got love shit, as long as y'all being respectful, we can go back and forth. Like my man, what was his name? Jamal. Jamal wasn't disrespectful. He spoke his piece. Yeah, Jamal, and I can respect that. He stood on his ground. He ain't get disrespectful. He ain't get outside the box or get into his feelings. And I can respect that, man. So shouts out to Jamal as well, man.
And yeah, make sure y'all go sub to Southern Tea Boxing, and you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna cook his ass real soon. Yeah. Coach, go ahead.
Yes,
let me get your last words.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure, bro. I'm gonna try to go on every day at like around 1:30. If y'all want to tune in to Glove Up Boxing and more. And of course on Fridays we got Coaching the Queen, cooking on you know, just life. So man, it's always a pleasure, Key. You know that, bro. So y'all come and subscribe to the channel, man, and y'all come check me out. You know, I'll keep it 100. And so y'all come on through, bro. That's it.
Yes, sir. Make sure that y'all go sub to Glove Up Boxing and more with the Coach and the Queen.
Fridays at 8:00.
Yeah, don't miss the shows Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Fire shows, and he be going live. I actually got to run back and check his live stream he did earlier today because I ain't getting no notification. And make sure that y'all go sub to OTB Boxing Class 101. School is now in session. He's starting to do the fire ass live streams with him and Ohio Runs Boxing, and he doing live streams every day now, pretty much. You know, doing his thing. Make sure that you go sub to OTB. And the film breakdown be on point as always. And y'all already know Money Brown TV. Me and Money gonna be over there. I'm gonna be on the panel today because we're gonna be cooking on this Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, he calling for Jake Paul. So we're gonna cook on that, and we're gonna cook on some more things. Make sure that y'all don't miss the show. It's finna be fire. And yeah, salute to the Queen Cassandra Mason coming through with the $5 super chat. Says shout out to the best dating site. They come through every day. Yes, the Queen Cassandra is, you know, she been here from day one when I was in here talking to myself. But and salute to everybody. Y'all hit the like button if y'all ain't hit the like button yet. We will be back tomorrow. And don't forget to sub to them channels, and we will be on Money Brown TV later tonight. Appreciate everybody. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.